This podcast contains discussions of mature themes, including violence, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Please proceed with caution. Listener discretion is advised.
I think it's cool.
Paul, James, welcome back. Dark Talk, episode 6. How are you both doing?
I'm good, cheers, yeah. Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Good to see you.
How are we feeling after last week's podcast?
Feeling much better because I didn't have to watch Halloween 5 this week, so yeah, my week is automatically improved.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
I thought I really enjoyed doing Halloween 5. I think it's the favourite one of mine so far that we've done. Not my favourite film, promise.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Good talk, bad film.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was good for me as well. I actually appreciate that film more than I did before I rewatched it and had a chat about it, so yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I found myself, anyone that's listened to it will see it at the start of that episode, I was absolutely trashing that film. And then by the end, I was really appreciating all the dumb shit that was going on. I almost turned a corner on it, but not quite.
You started the podcast off hating it and then ended up liking it. And Paul, I swear you started off liking it and then you hated it at the end. You've done like a complete flip, the pair of you.
So what have you guys been up to? Seen any good films recently that aren't Halloween films?
I have. So on Sunday I had a bit of time to myself and I was like, right, gonna watch Halloween 6 and but I had a bit of time before I was gonna really concentrate on it, so I just whacked something else on and I put on a film called Off Ramp. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, maybe not. I hadn't. And it's about these two juggalos who trying to
just
get
Google
to
it now.
they're trying to get to like what's it called? The Dark Carnival or some shit like that.
The Gathering of the Juggalos.
That's the one. But it was horrendous, but it was like great at the same time. I really I don't know, I quite liked it. It was so shit. The acting was pretty bad, and the topic was fucking awful. But I enjoyed myself. It was cool.
It's funny you should say that because do you remember during Halloween 3 where we were laughing that I used to be a cybergoth?
What do you mean used to be?
Yeah.
But for the listeners at home, I also used to be on the fringes of being a juggalo. Do you remember those days?
I don't actually.
Don't you remember when I used to be mad into Insane Clown Posse, like when we were like 15, 16?
I knew you liked them, but I didn't know that you were actually potentially going to be a juggalo. Cause...
I went as Violent J for Halloween one year. Do you remember that?
No, I must have been out.
You might not. Yeah, I remember. 2007, yeah. I say when I was 15, but I mean like I was 21 in 2007, so...
Anyway, yeah, so that film sucked. I don't mind ICP. The film sucked, but I liked it because it sucked. It was terrible. But I saw on Reddit the other day that there's a Halloween game coming out, an open world Halloween game. It's set in Haddonfield with all playable characters, but it was bullshit. It was an AI image and stuff, and it reminded me of this game here, which I put next to me just so you can see it.
The Friday the 13th.
Never
game.
ever played that actually. Isn't it meant to be really good?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Is it?
Well, I knew someone who used to play it, and I used to watch them play it a couple of times. Someone I used to look after, and I remember thinking that looks awesome, but I didn't game at the time. I was going through a break of gaming. I didn't have a console for about 5 years or so. So I was like, it didn't really appeal to me that much. And I just remembered it the other day. I was like, oh my God, I gotta get that. And I just found it dirt cheap. So it arrived today, and I am gonna whack this on Saturday morning before I go to work.
That game always reminds me of because the first time I saw Friday the 13th, the game, my friend was playing it, and so I watched her playing it, and she was also playing Alien Isolation, I had the same thing as you, Paul. I didn't have a console for years, but when I eventually got one, I thought, oh, I'll just play Alien Isolation, and oh, what a badass game that is as well. You know,
I've got your copy of that. Yeah, I played it for about 3 hours straight.
it
and
is
that was
like
enough
so
for me, to be
scary.
honest. I don't know. I'm no good with first-person games. Never have been. I remember playing GoldenEye with my mates, and I was just shit, and I hated it. So if it wasn't first person, I'd fucking love it. But it was a little bit slow, and nothing happened for like 3 hours, and I was like, so I started. What did I play after that? Can't remember. I started playing something else.
The Friday the 13th game, that's got every Jason's got different powers. So like the Jason from Takes Manhattan can teleport basically, whereas the Jason from Friday Part 2 is good at setting traps and things like that.
So what is the game? Are you evading Jason, or are you Jason?
You can play, so it's multiplayer, so it's online. So you get you can play as either a camp counselor, in which case you have to work as a team of like 4 or 5 to escape Jason, and then one player is playing as Jason to capture and kill.
Is this only online?
Have you not played it yet?
No, I only remember watching this lad play it.
I might be telling you something bad here, because the game, I think the servers have possibly been taken down because of copyright issues. There's some sort of issues about the rights to the Friday the 13th thing, and
it was removed from the PlayStation Store last December, if I'm correct.
Oh shit! So you can't do anything with it then?
you might not even get to play it.
Surely there's not offline version. There has to.
I don't know these days, because everything's online these days, like, because they want to grab as much cash out of you as possible. You can't, so who knows. But I hope you can play it.
I was just going to say I was going to download it after this, after seeing you get it with it, but now I'm not.
I'll let you know after I play it, and on the next episode I will tell you if I played it or not. And it would absolutely be my luck that it's just an online game. I fucking bought it. And I have 0 luck. And there you go again. The Alexa's just gone off playing some random shit, so I'm just going to go and tell it to turn off and fuck off.
What have you been up to, James?
I've been working. I watched a film the other night. I went round to my girlfriend's house and cooked for her and her mum, and we watched a film called Mr. Jones, starring James Norton, our favourite.
Yeah. Incredibly handsome man.
Yeah, he plays a Welsh journalist. I think it's a true story, where he goes over to
I watched it too.
Ukraine about Stalin's famine. It's gross.
I watched it as well, but I wasn't really paying attention. We had it on in the background and sort of fell asleep.
Yeah, it's very slow starting.
Was it on BBC iPlayer?
Yeah.
So I did watch that with you.
What?
Well, not with you, but
What are you talking about now? Sorry, yeah, it was.
I watched a film the other day called Mr. Jones. It's got James Norton in. He plays a Welsh journalist back in the war times.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes over to Russia, and you just see a load of famine and stuff. It's gross.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't watch that, to be honest.
But yeah, no, enjoyed it.
I watched 2 films. 2 films that stick out in my head that I watched recently. I watched Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, I've seen it. I enjoyed that.
And I watched a film, smaller indie film called I Trapped the Devil. It's
I've not seen it.
starring AJ Bowen. It's one of those modern day, low budget indie horrors. It was quite stylistic. It was quite good. I think it did go on a bit too long, but yeah, very atmospheric, worth a watch. I think I mentioned in the group chat. I mentioned to Paul. I think Paul would enjoy it.
Yeah. 73% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, pretty good. I think a bit too long to be a full feature, which it was, but yeah, otherwise, yeah, pretty good. Atmospheric, scary.
I was just going to say, have either of you seen I Saw the Devil?
No.
It's a South Korean crime cop predator, kind of, not predator like. It's got the guy from Old Boy, the mate. I can't remember his name off by heart. Odai-Soo is that character from Old Boy. And Lee Byung-hun, I think, is in it as well. Absolutely fucking mental film. So yeah, I'd definitely give that a watch if I were you.
I'm going to add it to my Letterboxd, because last week I signed up to Letterboxd, so I am hooked.
Oh, really?
On rating and ranking every film. I'm up to 944 films. I'm sure that I've got another 200 or 300 in me that I just haven't thought of. But yeah, it's really addictive. Letterboxd, I love it.
So with that, are you putting every film that you've ever seen on it? Because that's what stopped me from doing it. I couldn't decide whether to do this or that, and then I was just going down I was spiraling.
I'm doing every film that I've ever seen, and I'm rating them out of 5. I've got a little system in my head. I'm not going to go into it here. talk to you about it another time.
Yeah.
I signed up for Letterboxd as well, and I was on it for about 30 seconds, and I was bored because I didn't know what the fuck to do. So
I love it. I'm addicted. I'm proper addicted to it. Shall we begin? So, we are here tonight to discuss Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, from 1995, directed by Joe Chappelle, starring Donald Pleasance, Marianne Hagen, and introducing Paul Stephen Rudd. So guys, you know what time it is. It's elevator pitch. Paul, you generally go first. Do you want to go first this time?
I'll go first, and this time I've got my own motherfucking timer because I'm sure you are cutting me short with this. Yeah, you twat.
I'm not, I swear down.
Yeah, you do. No, but you time me, but I've got my own here, so I'm going to be fucking moshing you. Right?
Yeah, it did seem like 5 seconds last time.
All right, let's do this.
3, 2, 1.
Halloween 6 opens up 6 years after the events of Halloween 5, with a now 15-year-old Jamie Lloyd who is going into labour with a baby who will, unfortunately, later be named Stephen. Dr. Loomis is back, Tommy Doyle is back, and the Cult of Thorn reveal themselves in the Curse of Michael Myers. Boom.
Oh.
Fucking have it.
10 seconds left. Well done. I'm going to deduct points from you because that was pre-written.
No, you can't deduct points. James pre-writes every one of his. I was freestyle.
Not today's.
He gets to.
This is right. You'll be able to tell me.
Right, James. Let me type in 30 seconds. Right. 3, 2, 1.
Okay. 6 years after the abomination of Halloween 5 comes Halloween 6, a much better film in the series. New studio, new cast, new characters, and this really, for me, turns Halloween into a modern day slasher film.
10 seconds left as well. Okay. Well done, both of you. You're finding your groove now.
Are you going to have a go, Dan?
No, I don't do the elevator pitch. I'm the executive. You pitch to me. Sorry, boys. Yeah, really good. 10 seconds left each. You did it really. You streamlined it. Right. This film came out in 1995, James. So why don't you tell us what other horror films were around in 1995? What was doing the rounds? This was going to be your segment. Have you prepped?
No. So I will prep and we can come back to it later because I completely forgot. I'm going to have to start writing a list of what we need to do because I always forget something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll scratch that.
We'll come back to that. But that is a good thing. But yeah. Because I did look last week and I was actually quite surprised what was actually out at the time.
So, when was the first time either of you saw this film, and what are your memories of it?
So I remember seeing this film, again, I think we were in MVC, and it was on VHS. But because it wasn't called Halloween 6, because it was the theatrical version, I never really knew what it was. I thought it was like a weird spin-off or like a separate thing, because I was quite young at the time as well. And I just had no idea what it was, but I think Mum or Dad let me buy it or rent it. And I remember watching it for the first time, and I was so scared because I think even still to this day it's quite a scary film. But no, I loved it, and the whole Thorn thing I didn't really care about so much. Like watching it, I was just obsessed with Michael Myers, and he looked really scary in this. So yeah, I loved it, and I still like it now.
What about you, Paul?
So I probably saw this film probably not long after I saw 5, and I grouped it together with 5, and it took me a long time to decipher between the two. I couldn't remember which one was which and all that, and then so I would have been about 15 or 16 at that point. I rewatched it years later when I became more obsessed with ensuring that I watch horror films during October and September, spooky season and all that. So, my proper memory from it would have been from about 2015 or something like that. And I think, did the theatrical cut come out in about 2015? It was lost for years, wasn't it?
The producer's cut, that is, yeah.
The producer's cut, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was released on a DVD set in about 2014.
In a box set, yeah. I think they did a Blu-ray release, didn't they? And included.
Yeah, because it was it was just going around as just like copies for years, like bootlegs.
Yeah, you could find it if you knew where to look, but yeah.
When I watched when I watched it more recently, probably like 10 years ago or whatever, 9 years ago, I watched the producers. So then when it came to this rewatch, I watched the theatrical, and what the fuck? Because I couldn't remember the things that happened in this as much as I remember the other one. So yeah, I've seen it over the years. I've seen it over the years a few times, and this rewatch basically made me fall in love with it.
Well, I always thought you loved the Thorn trilogy, so I thought this was one of your favourites.
I like the idea of the Thorn trilogy. I like the it was a bit like the same with Texas Chainsaw Massacre with is it number 4 when they bring in the government
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
turns out that the government are like behind everything that happens with them.
The Illuminati. There's some kind of some kind of wider scope that we're not seeing.
Yeah, and for me that in storytelling is absolutely one of my favorite things. So I reckon if I was older when it came out and I had been following the films up to that date, I might have gone, "Ah, for fuck's sake." But as we have had plenty more films and stuff like that after it, yeah, I can definitely say that I do love the cult storyline big time.
Yeah.
With this being referred to, with 4, 5, and 6 being referred to as the Thorn trilogy, that's how I've always grouped them in my head. But the past couple of weeks watching, going back and watching Halloween 4, then Halloween 5, and Halloween 6, they really are not a trilogy. It's like 4 and 5 are like a double act, a two-parter, and then this is like the tacked on. It's the return. It's supposed to be the return of the Jedi of the trilogy, but it's so thematically different from 4 and 5. It's a completely different. I mean, we'll get into why.
It doesn't it feel like it just feels like I said, like when I was younger, and I remember looking at the cover of it and turning it over, and like I didn't recognize any of the characters in it. Oh, there was a photo I think of Donald Pleasance on the back, and he looked really old in it, and that was the only thing that was similar. But like the story, and just like the design, obviously it had been taken over by Dimension at that point. But it was just like it was literally like a fan film that had been made, and they just released it, and it was it's just like its own thing. I think you've got Halloween 4 and 5, like you said, which are tacked on. Then you've got 6, which I see as its like own thing, and then obviously the next one is H2O, which is back to
So 6 is it's almost this little weird oxbow lake of its own continuity. Not so much continuity, but its own style.
No pun, but it is like a cult film, isn't it? Like I think the way I see it.
Yeah, I'd say so. I've always kind of enjoyed this film. I've always thought it was the best of the 3. But it's nothing like the 3. I don't think it's I never thought it was a very good film, but it's definitely the best of the 3 Thorn films, in my opinion. I always thought that this is like a bookmark to me. This is like, so the slasher genre starts dying out in the late 80s, is terrible through the start of the 90s, and to me this is the last slasher film before it gets that breath of fresh air with Scream in 96, and it's literally only a year later and the whole thing changes. The slasher genre booms again, but this to me is the last gasp of that genre. I think that's how I've always viewed it, and I think I still hold that view today.
I would agree, because if I was watching Halloween 6 for the first time today and was told, and I didn't know anything about it, and I was told that this was filmed in 1988 or earlier, I would believe it, because it's still got a very 80s kind of feel to it. Apart from maybe the music, it's a bit cheesy in some places. It's like overly sort of try hard, dark and gloomy, and so yeah, I agree.
That's one of the things I don't like about this film: the smash cuts, the MTV music editing, the slashes, the quick. It's like he was trying to go for the Darren Aronofsky Requiem for a Dream smash cuts, and they're not the same. So it's just like knife slashes and pumpkins and screams, and that's one of the things that really puts me off about this film. I do not like that part.
I know what you mean. Like it's kind of like flashy for the sake of it, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I think what I like about it that goes with it as well is the score of it. In terms of, I hate the the electric guitar versions of John Carpenter's theme. I hate those so much. But I like the I don't know what would you call them, like like the slashing noises and the metal banging against each other when it's like doing all that shit and stuff like that. Or there's like later on when you don't need to put this in, but just so I know what we're talking about. Later on, there's a scene where Kara, like, she lifts up the quilt to find her brother dead underneath it, but like just before she does it, there's like a load of like a groaning voice. It sounds like a demon. Yeah, and it's just like just all that. I love like the soundtrack to it, but I don't mind the flashy thing to it because I don't know. Like you said, it's just like you said, Paul. It's just like this could be set in the 70s by the way it looks and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I don't mind the slashes and stuff either. I don't like the Darren Aronofsky Requiem for a Dream shit at all. I don't like it when in the like Cornetto trilogy either, particularly. I don't know. It's just blaggy to me. But in this film, I didn't actually think of it that way when I saw it. But I can see what you mean.
Yeah, it was something that I always found off-putting when I was younger. And now that I've got older, I liked it even less. So let's just get onto the plot. We'll only briefly go over the plot because the plot of this film is quite all over the place, but we'll just sort of go in chronological order. But first thing I want to mention to you, Danielle Harris, no longer in this franchise after doing 2 movies, being the face of it. They didn't bring her back. They didn't want to pay her the money that she wanted. Apparently she was not asking for an unreasonable amount of money. But yeah, they didn't want to. So how do you guys feel about that?
So the story goes that her agents saw an ad for someone to be cast as Jamie Lloyd, and they even used a headshot of Danielle Harris as a kid to cast out who they wanted, someone who looked like that. So her agency got involved. So I heard this on a YouTube video. I can't remember who made the video.
Yeah, I think I watched the same one.
So the Weinsteins and all that, they came to an agreement. They said she was 17 years old, and they said if you become emancipated from your parents, so you're a legal adult, you can do it. So she went through the long, lengthy process of doing that, which probably cost her a lot of money. And then once they signed on and that, with all that, she got the script, and it was like she dies really quickly. Spoiler. And then she wanted some help financially with the bills because they're getting like the lead star from the last 2 films, and they were like, nah.
Yeah, fuckers.
You're telling me that the Weinsteins are pieces of shit? Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah.
It sounds like the Weinsteins wanted a 17-year-old girl to be legally emancipated from her parents.
Yeah. Fucking. Did you not know that?
Yeah, I know, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's put me in a right fucking bad mood. I
know, it's fucking.
I knew about the emancipation, but like the way it hadn't twigged with me when I was doing my notes for this film. So yeah, now that
I think like I don't want to be topical, but like the P Diddy thing that's come out this week and all that shit. Not this week, it's been going on for a while, hasn't it? But it's getting like really popular now. Stuff like that. I think it was just at the forefront of my mind when I heard that bit, and I was like, there's probably a reason behind that. So fucking gross.
What do you think, James? What do you think of the decision not to bring back Danielle Harris?
I mean, it's just a big fucking kick in the teeth to all the actual Halloween fans, I guess, isn't it? And
sorry, I shouldn't be complaining about the fact that she's not come back now because probably about all the shit that Paul's just mentioned. So I don't blame her for not coming back.
Yeah,
she probably had a lucky escape not coming back. To be fair,
I was going to whine and complain about it, but I feel bad for that now.
But that's not to say JC Brandy. I think she's pretty good. Like in the role, she's great. Yeah,
really good in the job.
It's not like you're watching like, oh god, like such a bad actress. Like she's great in it, and it's kind of a shame actually. I think she would have been good if they'd have kept her on in the film. But
I agree.
Jamie's got to go.
It's a dumb thing though because it's the same thing as the whole. If Rachel being killed in Halloween 5 pissed me off, then going back and watching Danielle Harris not be in this film and then watching the character of Jamie Lloyd get killed off like at the start of the film again, it was just like
I don't mind it. Don't mind that she gets killed in this. It's because it's not Halloween 5, so I don't mind it. It's actually good after, but
I'm not fussed about the recast for that. Other than I feel for Danielle Harris because that's a bit shit on her. But generally, I don't mind recasting characters in films that are like sequels and stuff. Like, obviously, do you remember when? Oh God, I don't know if you know what I mean because I can't even remember her name. They recast the character in the TV show Neighbours. Like one episode, she just turned up and she was a completely different
Yeah,
human, and they were just like getting on with it. Like that kind of recast, I've always said like don't even recast, just get rid of the character.
Well, see, I quite like that in soaps when you see like different actors play the same characters because it's like obviously it's a soap in it, so you don't take it as serious, and it's quite funny. Thank God they recast Ben Mitchell.
Oh yeah, he's like Doctor Who. He's like regenerated about 5 times.
Yeah, he keeps spawning in different.
We're on like the 6th Ben or something like that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean JC Brandy's performance is pretty great.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So the film opens up and Jamie Lloyd is giving birth, and she gives birth in a I don't even know where it is. Is it meant to be Smith's Grove? It's really like gross looking.
I assume it's Smith's Grove. Yeah.
It looks like fucking some of the levels from the Crystal Maze. It's like the industrial level that they're going through, and then it fucking cuts to like the desert level or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So Jamie gives birth. She doesn't even get to hold the baby. The midwife picks up the baby and hands it to the mysterious and returning man in black from H5, which we'll get into him later. So Jamie doesn't even get to hold her baby. The midwife has a crisis of conscience, steals the baby, sets Jamie free, and tells Jamie to run. The midwife stands in the corridor, and now this is where we get our first look at Michael Myers in this film. What do you think of Michael in this film?
Well, he's grown about 2-3 foot, hasn't he? He's massive in this, even though it's the same guy from Halloween 4.
Oh, George P. Wilbur.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it is, isn't it?
Well, I know we did half of it, didn't he? But I'm not sure if this was like a reshoot anyway. But Michael Myers in this film I think he's actually so scary, and the mask is my second favourite mask, like apart from the OG. It's fucking top notch, like really, really good. And he's massive, and he's got like a grey boiler suit on. It's just like a different. This is where he's like Jason in Part 6.
He's more supernatural overtly supernatural in this film.
Yeah.
What I love about it for this Michael as well. So this is for me the best mask since the first film.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
You don't see his eyes; it's completely blacked out. And this is the first time where I start to think that he is the mask now. Apart from the first film, which he is the mask, but you still see his face. In 2, you can see his eyes, and he's clearly wearing the mask to like scare people. The 4 mask is terrible. The 5 mask, he takes it off, and you can see his face. Now it's like he's become the mask. Like
it's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
It might not be the most scary Michael Myers, but it's definitely the scariest and best we've had since the first film.
For me, the way I've seen it is like the first film, he's like a ghost, like a phantom that's just in the shadows or in plain sight in daytime and all that. Number 2, he's more like Terminator, where he's just like non-stop coming after you. 4, he's like just a shitter version of the first one, and more of like a soft. 5, same again. And then this one, he's more like, as James said, he's more like Jason Bourne. He's like walking aggressively. He's actually got like power in his, like, it's a bit later on, but when there's like a corpse hanging down and he just rips his fucking knife out of it and pushes it aside, and he's just like, I'm still coming after you.
Yeah. I was thinking about like we talked about him in the first film. Like Dan, I know you mentioned when you rewatched it, he was like he's like a ninja at the top of the stairs, and he's hiding in the shadows. You barely see him throughout the whole film. Whereas in this one, he's not hiding. He's not hiding. He's just coming for you. He's like Terminator mode now.
What's the difference though for me? Because it's George P. Wilbur playing Michael in this film, and he was in Halloween 4. Now the performance in Halloween 4 was shocking. It was
so
the worst Michael that we've had so far. Now in this one, he's the polar opposite. Now I know there's 2 actors playing him in different shots, but for the whole film, he's like terrifying. So. Is it a better director? What is it? I love it. I love his performance in this film.
He's watched Halloween 4 and he got, oh fuck it.
Yeah. It's 10 years later, so he's probably had to think about it a lot of that time, and read a lot of the criticism, because especially from Deborah Hill, wasn't it, who said after they'd filmed everything, that was a bit shit.
Well, she said that about Halloween 4.
And oh no, sorry, no, that was Halloween 6.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I'm thinking something else. Yeah, so he's probably had 10 years of criticism. Watched the film back a few times himself and thought, all right, I'm going to be a bit different this time. I'm going to be a bit more menacing and maybe like it's like us for doing these. Like by the first one, we were shit, or not shit, but we were like stumbling and stuff, and then we're getting way more comfortable. So maybe it was a bit like that.
Yeah, I think as well, and also as well that this like the whole setting of the film, like the mask's better. He looks bigger in this, but he doesn't look like he's got padding on like he does in Halloween 4.
Yeah.
And just the mask just makes it like if this mask was in Halloween 4, it would have been so much better. Yeah, I don't know what makes it. It's just like a different tone completely.
Apparently, the guy who was involved making the mask, Sundeed, again, I'm really good at remembering names, as you can tell. He did like subtle shading on the mask so that it wasn't just sprayed white, rely upon the shadows or lack of shadows like in number 4. Because I think that was a problem with number 4. A lot of it was in the daytime. Number 4? No, some of it was 5. 5, yeah, a lot of it in the daytime. You can't see a lot of shadows, so it's just like a plain white mask and a lot. But in this film, there are way more because it's mostly at night when you see Michael. But they shaded the mask so it didn't matter where the lighting was. He still had that tone of Michael with the kind of bigger cheekbones and deep set eyes and stuff.
They call this the Goblin Mask. That's how it's the sort of fan nickname for it.
Oh, really? Why is that?
It's because it's got like pointy ears. It's the shape of the head. It's almost goblin-like compared to the other masks. But yeah,
I really like the hair on this mask. I think it's like because you had Halloween 4, which basically looked like it was spray paint on sort of thing, and then 5 was slicked back. But this is like back to being like, I don't know. It's just, and then the close-ups of the mask as well. Like you said, it's good. You don't see his eyes, but you can really see the texture on them. It's almost like it's the first mask from the first film. Like it's just.
Yeah,
so good.
Such good work.
Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'd say this is the best Michael since 1 and 2 for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed.
This is my third favourite Halloween, so definitely.
This was like a really off-putting thing for me when I first saw it. And every time I've returned to it, this has like put me off instantly. It was, I mean, you're opening up with a screaming woman who's about to give birth. It's really dark, it's gloomy, which is fine. But it's the Dutch camera angles, and it's like swaying sideways. It took me back to like watching Natural Born Killers, with the like. So I loved that film as a teen, Natural Born Killers, and I went to rewatch it. God, probably about 8 years ago or so, and I forgot how insane the Dutch camera angles were, amongst all the other shit that's wrong with that film. And it made me physically feel sick, and I cannot deal with Dutch camera angles. So this opening with those, with the gloominess, and it's like all wet, and there's like screaming, and I just remember being like uncomfortable, but not like for a good reason from the horror film. It's for like,
I see what you mean. Yeah, just
made you feel like sick.
It's funny that you should mention Natural Born Killers because was Natural Born Killers written by Tarantino?
Yeah.
I got that right.
The novel was.
Oh, was it? I thought he wrote the screenplay.
So, Quentin Tarantino actually pitched a script for this film back in the day. Did you know that?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I did.
Because this came out in '95, so this is before he'd done Pulp Fiction, so he wasn't quite the king of Hollywood at this point.
Oh no, I thought it was just after, wasn't it? Pulp Fiction was '94, and he was really hot after that. When I was watching a video, it was telling that, and he was like, "Oh, just because he was hot off."
Oh,
but it might be wrong, but I think he was like, him and the Weinsteins were like.
Oh, Harvey Weinstein was Tarantino's mentor.
Yeah,
back in the day, yeah. So, do you know what the plot was going to be for Tarantino's?
I forget.
Halloween 6. Paul, do you know?
It was going to be two guys who are driving down the street in a car. They're having a really funny conversation about Burger King. And they turn up to Smith's Grove, and they go in and try to whack Michael Myers. Am I right with that?
Oh, you've been to... Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, I am joking. I know of his involvement, and so he got the original script that was given to him to like fix something like that, and he was like, "This is unfixable," and he was like, "Fuck this." But yeah, go on. What were you going to say?
He was going to have Michael Myers and the Man in Black be like on a road trip, like Natural Born Killers I don't think that would have been very good. Also, while we're on the subject of alternative scripts, Mustafa Akkad asked John Carpenter to come back, and John Carpenter said he would do it under one condition. Do you know what that condition was? And they make a reference to it in the film.
Was it that he get the royalties from the other films?
No, nothing to do with that. It was John Carpenter pitched an idea for Halloween 6, and it involved Michael Myers doing what? And in this film, they make reference to it, like a slight jab or something.
No, I don't know.
No, I don't know either. But
so apparently, John Carpenter said that he would come back to the film to direct and write if Mustafa Akkad would allow Michael Myers to go into space like the Leprechaun. It's probably just John Carpenter taking the piss, like. But they mention it when all the nutters are phoning in the Barry Sims show. And he's like, Michael Myers in space.
Yeah, come on, next. That would be awful. Just as is Jason X, but
how would they even get to a point where he's like in a position to get blasted off into space?
Well, think about it this way. So we're on Halloween 6 now. So you think go back to Halloween 1 and 2 and think Michael Myers would never go to space. Now go back to Friday the 13th, part 2, 3, and 4. I think Jason in space. So stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Let's talk about two things. Let's talk about the new Strode family, and let's talk about the house that they're living in. So the Strode family have moved into the old Myers house in Haddonfield, right? I get the impression they're not from Haddonfield. Maybe they are. Maybe John Strode is originally. John Strode is the brother of Laurie Strode's adopted father, and he's moved his family into the Myers house. The Myers house, which in the first Halloween film is a normal-looking, nice suburban townhouse, and then in Halloween 5 it's this gothic alone-in-the-dark mansion. And now in this film it's been refurbished back into this apple pie American dream house. Do the Strodes not realise the house that they're living in?
They actually don't, do they? I think John Strode knows, doesn't he? And that's like a whole...
It's a bit of like a subplot that he's the only one that knows about what happened, but he's not told the rest of his family.
I quite like it because he's such a dick in this film, and then you find out later on he's even more of a dick. Oh, he's such a good character though. Like I was watching it the other day and he cracked me up, and the actor is great.
The breakfast scene where he slaps Cara,
so good, isn't it? Yeah,
it was really tense. I was watching. I thought, oh my god, I don't remember this being so scary.
Yeah, it's like a proper. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's not done half-assed.
When James was just saying then, he's a dick and he's funny in that, I felt like the opposite. He wasn't just a dick; he was an absolute piece of shit, an abusive piece of shit.
He is.
The actor did really well to invoke this feeling of hatred for him, because he's such a piece of shit. The way he spoke to them all, the way he physically abused them, and he's obviously been beating his wife for years, and he's a horrible bastard.
You can see it at that scene, right? At the breakfast table scene. So the family are all sat around there. So we've got the wife Deborah, the husband John, named for John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. You've got the teenage son. You've got Tim. Cara, the elder daughter, I assume, and you've got the Cara's son Danny, who is about 7, 8, 9.
Named after Danny from The Shining.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So she's like a single mum. So they're all sat around the table, and Cara's studying for a university exam, and she makes this little offhand quip, something about how could I possibly get any rest in this house? And John, in a bad mood already because the kids have been putting Michael Myers effigies outside his house. You can see he just snaps. He's like, right, you're dead. You can see, is it Kim Darby that plays Deborah Strode? You can see her reaction. She's an abused wife. She's always thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. How do I not trigger him? And as soon as Cara, the daughter, says that, Kim Darby, Deborah Strode, is like, oh fuck, here we go, and it just escalates. And what a total piece of shit, but what a great actor. The way he plays it, he's so good.
Spot on. He's so good. Imagine if this was done bad. I think it would. The rest of the film would be like, oh God,
They could have overplayed this and been really heavy ham-fisted about it. but it was really good. Not good to watch, but it was really compelling to watch. And it's only a 2-minute scene.
It is, yeah. But it's like what you were just saying then reminded me of, Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Jack thingy, can't remember his
Jack
name.
Gleeson.
Jack Gleeson, who played him, like he had like hate mail, death threats, and everything for his role in Game of Thrones, and people are too dumb to realize that he is doing a really good job of making you hate him because he's supposed to be hated, and that's what this guy is doing. He's in that small amount of space that he's got to do this. He is. I could not stand him, and I said last time I struggle to find actual hate, but watching him, I was just like, you fucking asshole. I wish I was there.
Yeah, he plays it so well. And I was Googling photos of the actor, the Bradford English, isn't it? I don't know, he's not been in much that I've ever seen, but there's a photo of him in Seinfeld as like a copper.
Ah.
Yeah, and it just looks like... I've never watched Seinfeld, I've seen like bits of it, but I think it's Seinfeld.
I'm going to skip ahead just for a minute, it's a scene relating to this. So, when Deborah Strode has met Dr. Loomis and he's given the whole Prophet of Doom speech, the first thing she does is she phones John to give him hell about the house that they're living in. You didn't tell us we're living in the Myers house and all that? And she's like, we're leaving, John. We're going. And there's just this one line that she says, she's like, I want you to come with us.
Yeah.
And she's still, even though what a piece of shit he is, she still loves him.
Yeah.
I found that so heartbreaking. I thought, oh god, like maybe they at one point they did love it. Well, at one point they must have loved each other, and this is how it is now. But yeah, it's for like a shit horror film from the 90s, it was really good character work.
I say when I'm watching it now, I like rewatching it again. I kind of get the sense that he works for Strode Real Estate as well, doesn't he? So like,
yeah, he runs it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, so this is what in my head, because he's such a bitter prick. So what I see from it is like his brother's like done really well. He's got out of Haddonfield and fucked off, and he's like stuck there. And he's like, oh, I'll have to move into the Myers house because my brother will sell it to me cheap or something. I know they probably didn't think of all this, but just like it's just like he's like, oh, I'm still stuck here and with my fucking, and now my daughter's come back. Like I can't even like chill out, and so he takes it out on his family.
There's definitely something there with Kara as well. Like he says, we haven't heard from you in 5 years and now you're back.
Yeah,
like she's definitely been away somewhere.
Yeah.
And she's come back with this bastard child, as he calls it.
I remember watching that as a kid when he called him a bastard. And when I was younger, I was like, oh my god, he's just called his grandson a bastard. Like,
it's
what the
such a little like proper kick the dog. Like he's already a prick, and he stood up and he's like you and that little bastard over there, and I was like, oh, you knobhead, you fucking knobhead.
I know. Do you know what? He goes to stop himself from saying it, but he's like, oh, I've gone too far now.
He does that,
and he's like, and he kind of whispers it. He's like, oh, bastard over there, and then he's like, you can see he feels a bit bad, but then
like he almost stops himself from saying it. Then he's just like, do you know what? Like, why shouldn't I say it? This is how I feel.
Like, what's he got to lose? Like, if anything, like she'll move out, and he'd be like,
well, he says that later on when he comes back to the house, and at this point his wife has been murdered.
Yeah,
and he's like, I'm home, and he's like, thanks for the dinner.
Yeah.
And he's pissed as well.
And he's leathered, isn't he? Because he's just been drinking whiskey fucking all day.
And do you know that bit as well when he comes in and he stops and he's like, God damn it, she actually left. And he's obviously, she's like, oh my god, she's actually like started making her own decisions and she's gone. And he's genuinely gutted.
That's what an abuser would feel like. He's like, oh, she's actually done that. But
there was one more bit that made me laugh is when the kids have played that prank on John Strode.
Yeah.
and he comes into the breakfast room and he's like, stupid kids, showed them. It's just like this like I don't know, late 40-year-old bloke who's like, and also when it cuts to the kids and they're just sat there laughing at it. They haven't even ran away. It's just like he's like, oh yeah, I showed them.
So we've met the Strodes. I feel like we've just spoke about John, really. We haven't even spoke about the final girl. We haven't spoke about Kara at all. What do you both think of Kara?
I fucking love Kara. She's great.
Yeah, same.
Like, she's smart, clever.
She's awesome.
She's not cringy.
She's not Tina, so...
Hey, leave Tina alone.
No, great. She's absolutely great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into the Weinstein shit again, but they didn't like her. Fuck them.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, Kara's great.
So we get the return of a character from Halloween 1. Now, technically, this character was in Halloween 4. as a background extra. But here he is. We got him. It's the one, it's the only Tommy Doyle, played by newcomer Paul Stephen Rudd. What do you think about Tommy?
I'll start off with that. So going back to before I had this rewatch, didn't like this film that much. Didn't used to like the Paul Rudd character. I thought he was like a little bit Scooby-Doo, a little bit over the top. He's weird, he's stalkery. He names the baby Stephen.
You really don't like that name, do you?
Well, not for a baby. I know there are adults called Stephen, so there must have been lots of babies called Stephen at some point, but I don't know who would have a baby, look at it and go, this is the name, Stephen. This is my baby's name. It's like calling a baby Gary, because that happens as well. I've got an uncle Gary. I know it starts off as like Gareth, probably, or whatever.
It's not a baby's name, is it?
No. So yeah, what are we talking about? Paul Rudd. Right, so on my rewatch after disliking Paul Rudd's version of Tommy Doyle, I don't know whether it's just because Paul Rudd is pretty awesome these days. Whether you like him or not, I don't know or care, because I think Paul Rudd's awesome. He's never been in the spotlight for doing anything wrong. He's been in some fairly decent films, let's say, decent-ish. He's a likable dude.
He's a likable dude, and I would say the Ant-Man films are on the, how I feel about the Marvel movies. Yeah. I think the Ant-Man films are like on the watchable end of those films. They're quite good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just because Paul Rudd's cool, isn't he? He was good in Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Good in Clueless. I saw an audition tape for Halloween 6 with him. He's like, I'm Paul Stephen Rudd. I'm 5'10", and he's like, there's no way he's 5'10". A girl I work with met him in the turf of all places in town. Yeah, in Wrexham.
Yeah, because he's mates with Thingy, and
it makes sense if you're from here and you know what's going on here. But would you ever expect that multi-millionaire, very famous actor to be in a local pub around the corner? So yeah, she showed me a photo of him and her, and he's only a little bit taller than her, and she's about 5'3", 5'4", maybe shorter. But he has aged and that as well, so he might have been 5'10" when he was.
I think you'll find he hasn't aged, Paul. Do you
does.
not subscribe to the internet or what?
Oh no, yeah, no. He's aged numerically, but he hasn't aged physically. People actually think that he's a reptilian as well, because on his IMDb page, he's got like light in his pupils from the flashes of the cameras or whatever. They look like reptilian slits, like reptile eyes. And because he hasn't aged a lot, people think that he's a reptile.
My recasting for this film was...
No. Don't say it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't.
For Tommy Doyle, I was going to use Paul Rudd, because he hasn't aged.
That's funny. That correlates a little bit with my recasting. So yeah, so I like Paul Rudd. He's awesome.
So obviously Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis, isn't in the best of health. He passed away. This is his last credited role. So do you think they were looking to set up a nemesis, the Loomis role, pass it on to Tommy Doyle, and Paul Rudd could have been, if his career hadn't taken off, do you think he would have been the Loomis for the next... A lot of variables there. Do you think that's what they were aiming for?
The way he acts in the film, he's a bit mental because of what he went through as a kid, but he's very much he's obsessed, and he's going to be the next Loomis, isn't he? If they'd have carried on the storyline. I get that from it, yeah.
I was going to say basically what James said. Obviously, he's not a doctor, but Loomis didn't present himself as a doctor very often, or just like a lunatic. But so yeah, if they made a number 7 with Paul Rudd and the continuing storyline, he could have filled that role of the crazy expert who's running around. Again, sorry to overuse this term, but Scooby-Dooing the shit out of it, just going a bit mental all the time.
He's got that program that he's developed himself for his Amstrad computer or whatever it is, that shows when Michael's going to turn up and kill.
Yeah, he's like a fanboy to him, I guess, isn't he? Because when he sees him, he knows who he is.
He's fully down the Dr. Loomis, Michael is evil rabbit hole, and he's never even met Loomis, apart from when he was younger. He's using the star alignments to calculate when Michael's is going to appear and kill again, but he's never bothered to track down Loomis. It's something you think he would.
If he put that brain power into becoming a doctor, I'm sure he would have been able
to. Yeah.
I like his performance in this, and again, I'm going to skip ahead, but there's a couple of scenes later on towards the end of the film when they go back to Smith's Grove. So the first one is where Tommy's walking around, and
Yeah.
she's a female patient, and she's been stabbed by Michael, and she jump scares him. She's a prophet of doom and all that, and then she dies. And like Paul Rudd's performance, he goes, like, he hasn't seen any of this sort of stuff. It's all just been on a screen to him at this point. He just goes, "Oh shit!" It's fucking so funny. I laughed out loud.
Yeah,
like.
the way he delivers it's great. Yeah.
There's two more, right? So the next one is like he sees Michael for the first time, and he hasn't seen him since he was a kid, and this is all again been in his head growing up. But he sees Michael for the first time. He then turns slowly to his left and looks at him, and he's got this fire extinguisher in his hand as he's trying to break Kara out of the room, and he just sort of smiles like, huh. Just like, let's bang the door. And the last one that made me laugh so much is it's when they're in the baby test tube room at the end, and they've got Danny, they've got the baby, it's Kara, Tommy, and Michael's chasing him, and his fist comes through the wall like boosh, like that. And Paul Rudd, I don't know if something scared him in real life, because he just goes, "Ah!"
Yeah. It's legit. It's so good.
I rewound it about 4 times to watch it. It was so good. Like I love his performance in this film. He's so.
It's great.
If he hadn't have hit stardom and he became like a B-movie actor, like he would be so celebrated in like our sort of circles. You know, I'm glad it worked out for him, and he's like an A-lister now. But like, oh, what a fucking dude. Love him.
Yeah, great.
Right, let's move on from the Rudd. Barry Simms, one of those mid-90s shock jocks. He's like, I think the part was written for Howard Stern or Mancow, one of those guys. We mentioned it before. He's got the Halloween call-in show where everyone's phoning in talking about Michael Myers and Haddonfield and blah blah blah. He's like Art Bell on Coast to Coast. What do you think of this sleazy shock jock?
First thing I would say about him is how much he doesn't take the calls seriously, right? So he gets a call from Jamie. He probably gets all these calls quite a lot, you'd imagine. Yeah, he's probably got fake people calling and all that.
Yeah, I reckon so.
So what I was going to say doesn't really matter, because he probably keeps getting these fake calls all the time. But he gets the call from Jamie, like legit Jamie. And he's just like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
He's a massive condescending prick. Like, when you see him at first, you think, oh, this is going to be the worst guy in the film. And then it turns out he's not, because John Strode's in the film.
But also, I think when Jamie calls him, I think it would have been, I don't know if it would have been good or not, but like, she doesn't actually say who she is. She's just like, oh, she just mentions Michael Myers. And everyone's like, oh my God. But the whole show that he's talking about is Michael Myers. So it's kind of like, why?
Yeah, he sounds bored of hearing it.
Yeah. And it's like...
Yeah. I'm not gonna. There's gonna be a lot of continuity errors and errors like that in this film, because it was so spliced up over 2 cuts.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that I noticed that I thought, that doesn't make any sense. But I thought, they've just made the best of the footage that they've shot, so that doesn't bother me too much.
No.
With like rewrites and reshoots and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. I don't think like, she calls in and she's like, and he's like, come on, who's coming? And she's like, Michael Myers. And then he takes the piss out of it. Of course he's at the guy, the people ringing before, that woman saying, oh, I love Michael Myers. And then the other guy saying, oh, the CIA, they own Myers and they use him and stuff like that. He's on the government payroll.
I was thinking that'd be a cool like side film. Imagine if that was actually canon. The guy that was on the phone was like telling the true story. It's like a Halloween film that we never saw, Halloween 5.5 or something like that.
Halloween 3.5. One of the anthology stories.
So I've got a bit of trivia for you about the character of Barry Simms. I don't think either of you know this. I don't think many people do know this, but
go on.
The actor that plays Barry Simms, Leo Guetta, in 2005, which is 10 years after this film was released, he was in a film called Penny Dreadful. Okay? The character that he played in Penny Dreadful was called Barry Simms. So I don't know if he's playing the same character in that film, because I've tried to find that film. I have found it on eBay, but it's like 60-70 quid plus postage to the UK, so I can't afford that. One of them is actually signed by Timothy Dalton, who's not even in the film.
Fuck. Okay. What do you think of him?
I think he's an absolute bellend, and that my thoughts on him will be clear when I show you who I've recast as him.
I'm going to run us through the kills of the film.
Nice.
Because that sort of follows the structure of the plot. Going back to the start, the midwife that saves Jamie's baby. she has her head impaled on this very convenient spike on the wall of Smith's Grove. First kill of the film, what did you think?
It's fucking brutal. It's horrible.
Yeah. It's a good kill.
I love the shot of when she's actually hanging on that wall after she's been impaled. God knows how tall she is in real life, because it makes him look massive.
Yeah.
And the way it's shot, and it's really good. I think it sets Michael up to just be this, well, what he is for the rest of the film.
And he's doing the classic Michael look up at his work shot that he's done in so many films.
She's like eye level, and he just stares at her. After he's done it, he doesn't just walk away; he just stares at her, and it's just like. Apart from the convenient spike, it's a really good kill. Actually, though, thinking about it, that place is where the cult hangs out, so they probably are gonna have random spikes, because that's quite a culty thing. They got candles lit everywhere and chains and fucking all sorts of cult markings everywhere. They might have spikes, like decorative spikes,
I tell you what, the the cult. So the cult markings, they wear those like black cloaks with like the red outlines. Do you ever remember the bad guys early on in Tomb Raider 2? They used to wear exactly the same.
Yeah. They're also like
they were all like black.
The Resident Evil 4 cults, aren't they, Paul?
Yeah. They just had they just had like black cloaks with just like red outlining and stuff like that, and it's just so.
They look a lot like. They look a lot like Aleister Crowley, Ordo Templi Orientis, the OTO. They look like those sort of like magical working robes. That's kind of what they go for. But these are more like Hollywood Satan style rather than the real.
Yeah.
I've got a little story for you about the Resident Evil 4 cult. So a couple of years ago in work, we started using walkie-talkies to communicate when we were in different parts of the building and whatnot. So we started hearing glitches over the radios. It was probably police radios and stuff coming through, and people's voices and that. And people were getting a bit scared. So I took it upon myself to play down the radio when I was in a different room, the Resident Evil 4 cult noises. So it was Murder Speedy and all that kind of shit. And people were proper fucking scared.
Yeah,
and, they were like, "Oh, did you just hear that? It was these weird voices." I was like, "Yeah." And I never told anyone that I did that until right now.
Still to this day, now they tell people one time we were in work.
Yeah, they probably do.
And this.
Oh, I did it loads though. It wasn't just one time. I did it for about a month.
I like that.
I did it at every opportunity. It was awesome.
So we get the second death of the film when Jamie's trying to escape. The mustache mullet guy gets his head twisted off. Yeah, pretty gruesome. I think it was made extra gruesome for the theatrical cut. I think the original shot of it wasn't quite as violent, but they showed his spine sticking through his neck or something.
So when I rewatched this, I started with the producer's cut. Is it referred to as the producers or director? Producer's cut.
Producer's cut.
And he just turns his head, basically, just sharply turns his head. He drops to the floor. The scene continues. But then I think it was a couple of minutes later that we were talking, and I said, "Hold on a minute, I'm not sure which version I'm watching." So then I found theatrical, started watching it, cut my phone to there, and then rewatched that scene. And he does, instead of just turning it, it's shot from Michael's kind of point of view, sort of, but not entirely. It's from Michael's angle. And yeah, he doesn't just break his neck, he twists his fucking head clean off, and his spine is just sticking straight out with blood and rays.
It's gross. And the sound effect when that plays is proper, I don't know what they've done, the Foley on it, but it's it's so good.
Well, let's talk about that difference, right? Because the producer's cut, a card cut that he wanted, had a lot less gore. The theatrical and the director's cut had the gore amplified, right? So there are two deaths in this film that, well, three if you include the mustache mullet guy with the bone sticking through his neck. But there are two deaths after that really, the gore is really exacerbated. So the first one we'll talk about now. So Jamie Lloyd's death. So in the theatrical that we watched, that we've grown up watching, she gets thrown onto that horrible looking. What even is that? That farming equipment.
What is it, like a corn thing or whatever it is? But yeah, that's fucking gross as well.
And not only does she land on those spikes, like he turns the machine on and like grinds her insides up. It's fucking horrible. Whereas in the producer's cut, do you know how she dies in the producer's cut?
I can't remember. No.
Does she get shot?
Does she?
Yes, she survives the barn fight, and she goes to the hospital. So she's in a coma for most of the film until the man in black walks in and hits her in the head.
That's
with
why
a
Loomis is in the
pistol.
hospital, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit, that whole scene, I remember, like, obviously rewatched it the other night, and it's actually, when she's walking around that barn, it's so tense, it's fucking great. And there's like, it keeps cutting, it cuts to a shot where she sees Michael, and then it thunders or lightnings, and then he disappears. But then, and I always remember that shot, but there's another shot which I never picked up on where she just looks, and you can just see Michael just like wandering around looking for her, and I was like, fucking hell, that is so scary. Like, it's great. And then he obviously appears out of nowhere and gets her, but the whole scene's really, really good.
It's like something I mentioned on the last one about if you were a character, if you were an actor playing a character in these films, you would want like a really good death, wouldn't you? You'd want like a very memorable, gruesome death. I would anyway. But I think that one's pretty good to take out Jamie, who has been huge in the last two films and revitalised the whole franchise.
Yeah, definitely.
If you've got to do it, that's the way to do it, I think. Yeah.
Apart from it being a bit confusing, I would say that it is pretty good death. Yeah, it's a bit scary and that. You know, the whole barn thing's a bit Jason-y, but
I think with the Jason element as well, like you know, he chucks her onto the spike or whatever she lands on. This is where it's kind of like, this is why it's a different Michael, because she puts her arms out to like hug him or whatever, and he does the same, but then he pushes her down. It's like he's like what's the word?
More sadistic.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he really actually. I know, obviously we know he enjoys killing, but it's not like he's doing it because he's like possessed to do it. He does it. He's like, yeah, fuck you. Like, he toys with her, doesn't he?
He got tricked by her last time though, when she was like, "Uncle," and he like takes his mask off, and he's squawking. But he's not gonna fall for that shit again, is he?
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm gonna fucking have you back for this one," and he's like.
I think what gets me with that bit is it's not so much that he pushes her down, it's more the fact that he puts his arms up at first. I've always thought of Michael as being like under this, like, not asleep, he doesn't know what he's doing, in a trance, yeah, like that, he puts his arms up to hug her and then he's like, nah, fuck you. That makes him like, oh shit, he doesn't actually give a fuck.
Yeah.
But it just changes the style of what he is. Do
you reckon he was doing that to trick her though, into thinking that he's going to hug me or save me or whatever?
Yeah, that's how it comes across to me.
So if you think that, and you think like he's done that on purpose to like trick her, when you go back to like the first film when he's in the ghost costume,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Halloween 5, and he's wearing the mask while he's driving her around. He's like a bit of a troll. He's taking the piss a little bit, you know. He's enjoying what he's doing.
Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah, like he can be a dick. He can be a proper douchebag. He's like a cat playing with its
his prey.
Yeah, with his prey.
I think what I always come back to is whenever I think of Michael Myers, I think of Halloween 2, where he's just like, right, go to the hospital, like wipe everyone out, trying to find her. And he doesn't really do any games and stuff in that film, does he?
He's more Terminator style in 2, isn't he?
No, in 2 he's just trying to complete his mission.
Yeah, and that's what I always think of as like he's in this like weird trance where he's asleep but he can't help it. But yeah, with this Michael Myers in this film, and then obviously he turns the machine on and all that shit. It's just very Jason-esque.
Let's go to Deborah. Deborah's death.
Oh, fucking hell, Deborah.
So we talk about Donald Pleasence in this film at the end. I feel like we should give him like a big bit at the end.
Yeah.
So she's had this she's bumped into Dr. Loomis in the house, Donald Pleasence, and he's informed of where she lives, and you know she's phoned John Strode. She gets spooked, quite rightly, because Michael is in the house, and she runs out the house, and she gets axed in. Well, you don't see where he gets. Well, you don't see where she gets.
Well, I used to think he would decapitate her, but later on we find out that's not what happened.
So this reminded me of the death of the girl from the barn in Halloween 5. You know, he gets her with a scythe. It was almost the exact same thing. You see the shot of Michael swinging, blood splat on the wall, and I do think that's so effective because I loved it in 5 and I loved it in this. It's great simple way to shoot something. Yeah, I loved it.
I think it's great. Yeah. Obviously, it's a bit stupid that she comes out of the house. She comes out of the house and then she's like lost in her back gardens, but she's so scared, and I love the shots and the sound effects. She's running through, and it's almost like fucking Blair Witch Project in that bit. She's running and she looks at the camera. And she's like, "Oh my god! Like, is he there or not?" She must be seeing something.
She's panicking because she's had the worst day. She's woke up and she's had, how long has she been married? At least 40 years to this fucking absolute knobber.
I know. Who chucked earlier on? That's what I wanted to say as well. When she gives Cara some money or something, but you don't actually see it.
Oh yeah, you
And
actually
then
do
he's
see
like-
a good shot of that in the producer's cut.
I was going to say it's weird they don't cut to it, but there's the bit where he's like, "Oh, great idea, Deborah. Why don't you just give it?" And he just chucks this wad of cash at his wife's face. It's the most insulting thing. He's such a fuck. Anyway, yeah.
She's had to put up with him for since they've been married, which is at least 40 years, and then she has to meet fucking Dr. Loomis the hour before she dies.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh god. Just to listen to him go on for an hour. Yeah, pretty good death. Pretty low key, but certainly low key compared to the next one we're going to talk about.
I like it. I think the shot of when she pulls down that sheet and the shot of looking up at Michael, I think like that is such like the mask looks great. He looks so menacing, and it's fucking so good.
That's what I think about when I think about this film. I think about that shot of him holding the axe back to strike.
Yeah.
And I think about the shots of him walking down the steel Nostromo corridors later on.
Yeah, Nostromo.
Yeah, that's when I think of the Michael from this one. They're the two that are in my head.
Yeah, I like that death. I think it's good. The whole scenes leading up to that, I think, are really good because obviously, she picks up the axe that John used to take down the Michael Myers sign earlier.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Oh yeah,
that.
so there's and she picks it up and she brings it in, and there's a shot of it on top of this basket. And later on, when she's packed her bags, she's coming down the stairs, and it's so good. There's a POV shot from her, and and the axe is gone, and then the music starts playing. Not the shitty electrical guitar music, weird.
The proper music.
Yeah, it's fucking terrifying. It's great. I love it.
So, the next death is the death of John Strode.
Is that the
Now,
next one? Is it? Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say this is. Well, I'm going to say that it's my favourite death of the film, and I'm going to say it's got to be both of your favourite deaths in this film. I fucking love this. I love this so much.
Yeah, I've got it written down in my note. So my note says John Strode's death is the best in this film. It must have been so much fun to film that.
Yeah, they must have had such a laugh making this. It was just watching it made me happy. It was so good, so good.
Yeah, it's great. But also with horror films, right? I'm always of this thing when prick characters get killed. I'm a believer in if it's going to be scary, you should care for every character and it should be serious. And when a prick gets killed, you're oh yes, thank God for that. And when his head explodes, I was I imagine people in the cinema were fucking cheering.
Yeah.
It's proper Home Alone. It's he kills him in the Home Alone 2 basement. It's like Marv when he's I thought we were going to see John Strode's skeleton for a bit. What? And his head just goes boom. No, that is the second. It's an enhancement.
That would have
of
been fucking sick.
The theatrical cut over the producer's cut, because in the producer's cut he just dies and that's that. But in this one, they go full.
How does he kill him in the producers?
He kills him the same way. He electrocutes him and that's it. It just cuts to the outside and you can see the light through the basement windows.
I love those shots. Yeah.
And he just dies. But in the theatrical, they were no, we need to go bigger, harder, faster, and they just they put dynamite behind his head. I don't know, they filmed it and they must have got a balloon full of fucking red paint and guts and shit and just boom.
Yeah. There's those, you just mentioned, those shots in when he's being killed, there's shots from the outside of the house and they're all the electrics flashing and and you can hear him screaming in the basement. It's so good. When I was watching it the other day, rewound it just to watch those bits. I was it just looks sick. It looks great.
Great death. Loved it. Absolutely fit in for that piece of shit character. Best death of the film. Easy.
Absolutely.
So next death, and again, this is following the plot. So we go to... Where's Barry Sims now? It's some sort of Halloween festival. Are they trying to get Halloween back together?
Yeah. So it's Beth's... Well, Beth, we haven't even talked about it. Beth, Tim Strode's girlfriend, is trying to bring back Halloween, because it's been banned, hasn't it, in Haddonfield, quite rightly, after everything that's gone on. So she is trying to tell everybody, oh, he's dead, let's just get over it and stop being so stupid about it.
She's got a point.
Yeah. So so she's invited the worst man in the world to come over and promote Halloween.
Give me the most memorable line from this scene. Go on, say it.
Great house, strong wood. Is that what you're on about?
No, but that is what I was.
Always gets me.
I was thinking of fucking dickhead going, I bet she wears crotchless panties and barks like a dog.
Oh, right, yeah. No, I was thinking that thing. He was like, just look at Tim's family. They live in the Myers house. He's so clueless, bless him. We do? Oh, yeah, we do. And then he's obviously trying to be like, what can I say? Great house, strong wood.
I wasn't sure if he believed that he did live in the Myers house or he was just playing along and he was like, oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's what I get from it. Yeah. And that was his like first go-to. It's strong wood.
Strong wood.
It's a great line. I fucking love that line. It's so good. Because at the beginning of the film, I don't really like his character because like it's like he's set up to be like a bit of a douchebag. But I like him in the end.
He's definitely like this Nirvana grunge sort of Beavis and... Oh, he does that Beavis and Butthead impression, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. But no, he turns out to be like... I think I like him because when he gets back to the house later on, he's actually genuinely like, is that really true that I live in the Myers house? He's actually quite scared.
These two are the most like throwaway characters of the film, I think. Everyone else in the film is pretty like memorable. These two are just like a guy and his girlfriend. Just I don't care.
I was going to say when I was writing my notes, I was like, characters that you could have done without was these two, but they're not bad. Like
they were there to push forward that return Halloween plotline because without the connection of her brother and his girlfriend, it would have just been some random girl who was trying to get all this back together, restart Halloween. So that entire part would have been, it wouldn't have had a connection to the main story.
Yeah, because she's tentatively connected to the Strode. She's the partner of the fella whose dad is the father of one of the first victims.
Yeah, when you say it like that, sounds bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I quite like it.
I mean, if you look at Halloween Kills, you've got the bar scenes where they're having like a reunion sort of remembrance party.
Yeah.
With Tommy Doyle, again, a different Tommy Doyle. But that doesn't actually have a connection other than just being something that is taking place in the town at the same time. So with this, the connection is this random brother who doesn't really do a lot. He's got a bit of comic value and he's connecting them to that. That wasn't what I was going to say earlier, though.
What were you going to say earlier?
Oh, I was just going to say that he's actually quite a cool character because he's joking around during that back to the fucking John Strode scene in the kitchen.
We can't fucking escape.
It is. It's like a British kitchen sink drama scene.
He's sticking up for. He's joking around with his dad because he knows he can get away with a small amount of piss take.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't do a great job, but he does open his mouth and tell him to stop.
He says lay off her, Dad, doesn't he, at first?
Lay off it, yeah.
Yeah, and he gets shouted at, and he gets pointed at.
He does, the point,
John.
Yeah.
But that again, like now you've said that, it makes me think again, like, John's only like that to the women in the family. Like,
yeah, but he probably knows that in a few years, this lad's going to be able to kick his ass, if not now.
Yeah.
But he'll have the confidence to in a few years, so he's probably not. He's more like that to women, yeah. Like you said.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll go to Barry Simms' death. So Barry finds out about Tim Strode living in the Myers house. So he decides to move the whole fucking carnival all the way to the Myers house. He even says before asking or anything like that, he's like, we'll be back after this commercial break and we'll be coming to you live from the Myers house. Like, he just doesn't give a fuck, does he? Like, such a sleazeball. Such a sleaze.
As soon as he's off air, though, and he's like backstage on the phone, he starts revealing that he isn't this fun-loving, comedy, edgy fucking radio guy. He's a weasel businessman, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if that pussy Michael Myers shows up...
This is exactly why I have got the best fucking recasting for him ever. And you two will... If you both haven't picked him for this recasting, you will hurt yourselves.
So Barry Simms calls Michael a pussy. Michael's in the back of the van, comes around and stabs him. How did Michael get into that van when 10 minutes ago he was in the Strode basement? Not going to get into that because of the cuts.
Well, I would just say because he's like, how far away is your house, kid? And he's like, about half mile. So I assume Michael's just gone down it.
So Barry just gets into the back of his van in the theatrical.
Oh, does he get into the wrong van?
Now in the producer's cut, he gets into the wrong van. He gets into a Smith's Grove van, which is parked a couple behind his. but they don't show that in the theatrical cut. Because you think, why was Michael be waiting in this fucking van? And I swore I wasn't going to go on about
No, I completely get
errors,
that.
but that is a bit of a dumb one.
No, I kind of like the fact that he's not in, like, why would Michael be in a Smiths Grove van? Like, it's sitting in the back of it. This death to me is reminds me of Scream a lot.
Oh, Randy and Scream.
It's very like, it's just very like, I quite like it because you see like a bit of the Myers mask and
yeah, you get a good close up of Michael. Yeah.
And again, we've just had John's death, but I don't mind this death. I think it works.
Yeah, we needed a breather murder, like a lesser.
Yeah, just like even though again, maybe the biggest pricks should get the biggest murders, but I think it's kind of good because he's like, what, that pussy Michael Myers, and then all of a sudden he kills you. Yeah, I like it.
A satisfying death.
So Tim and Beth return home. They're expecting the whole Barry Sims circus to turn up, so they decide, well, why don't we just get naked and have a shag before they get here? So they have a shag. We get I think these are the only breasts we see in this film.
They're the only breasts we see since the first film.
No, because there's a fucking
you see Nurse
cracking pair of fucking tits in the second one.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, we get back to the house, don't we? And
yeah, Tim, he says that line. He's like, I gotta go take a shower. I gotta stay fresh. It's like, ugh, gross.
Yeah, that is so.
He gets murdered in the bathroom. Not a great death, but it is kind of brutal the way he's sort of struggling. But like, he can't even flail his arms, or he's so trapped by Michael. He was so much stronger than him. He just cuts his throat in the bathroom mirror.
Do you know, this reminds me of, and I only thought this when I recently rewatched it. I think because of the angle that Michael's at, his mask like bends a bit, and it looks like the death from Halloween 2. I think it's the
needle in the eye.
Is it the needle in the nurse's eye or something like that? And his mask folds, and it just like, I don't know whether it probably wasn't. They didn't take inspiration from it, but it just reminded me of it.
There are a lot of nods in this film that I noticed, but I actually can't think of any off the top of my head now that I've said that. So next death is Beth. Tim's been killed by Michael. Beth's in bed. I guess they're trying to go for the old Bob, Linda sort of thing from the first film.
Or Rear Window sort of shit.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry, go on.
So what makes this interesting is that Kara's gone home and found nobody home, so she's gone over to Tommy's, and her and her kids are living with Tommy and baby Stephen. And she's looking out the window and she can see into her bedroom, because Tommy's got a camera set up to watch Kara Strode's bedroom. And she sees Michael come up. Michael kills Beth in the room in a pretty nothing death, I think, but the death itself is nothing, but the whole framing around it is, it's like Rear Window. She's seeing it from, you even see the camera on the tripod, so you see that. But then what makes this even worse, what makes this good, is that Kara then looks out the window and she sees Danny walking into the Myers house, knowing that Michael is in the house and he's just killed Beth.
Yeah. And
I don't know how it is in the producer's cut, because I remember this being really good, but I watched this on the theatrical and I thought, they really should have spent, the shot should have been a lot better of Danny walking into the house, because I was like, that could have been really good, but it was so disappointing watching it again. Like, it spends literally less than 2 seconds on Danny walking to the house, and it's so darkly lit.
I don't know. Really... I kind of like it. From what I remember, I'm not sure if it's like I love this whole set. I think I think it'd be really shit if, like, say Beth died and then it cut to, and nobody knew that she died, and then it cut to something else. It'd be like, yeah. But I think in that scene, I think Kara sees it, and then she looks to see Danny, and he's not there, obviously. And then I think she goes back to the camera, and it pans down from Beth being killed to Danny walking across. I was like, that's all you need. That's great. I love it.
It was really something I was looking forward to watching again. And the second time, this is like the 100th time I've seen it. But when I watched it, I was like, that was much better in my head being on screen. I didn't like it.
See, I like it. I like it. I think it's good. Paul?
I don't remember seeing Danny entering the house. I remember her seeing through the camera, she sees it happen, and then she looks back at the bed or the room, and he's gone. Because the room's a shit tip, and that's what I remembered mostly about it. I was like, fucking hell, it's a pigsty in there.
Yeah.
And then...
No, it did. She does. She looks over and sees him walking to the house. Well, at least walking up the stairs.
It's 2 shots, because the first shot is she looks out and she sees him walking to the house.
Right, I've got it.
She runs down like that, and then she gets in the house, and then she looks up and she sees him going up the stairs. Now, the going up the stairs shot was really good, but the going into the house, I just didn't like it. I can't believe I'm spending so much time talking about this one shot.
No, it's good. It's good. I think I've got it up right now.
I've got a bit of a problem with paying attention to things. So
Right, let me just.
I remember seeing the bedroom, and then that probably took my mind away for a few seconds, and I didn't see the
Right,
walking in.
so what happens now? Beth gets stabbed to death, cuts the Kara, being like, "Oh my fucking god, what the fuck?" And then she quickly she sees something out the window, grabs the camera, moves it from her being murdered, pans down to Danny walking into the house. It's fucking awesome.
Let's move on. Right, ready for the begin to the finale? I say the finale. This is like a half-hour finale.
This is great. This is, I think, where the film really fucking ramps up. I think it's great. This scene.
We haven't talked about how Paul Rudd finds the baby, though. So, two of the people who were listening to that radio show where that Jamie phones into from the hospital, which is is it a hospital?
No,
This is
the
a
bus station.
isn't she?
Is it a bus station? It looks like a hospital. Right. So Jamie phones into the radio station from the bus station because she hears it over the radio. This is like the most empty place you've ever seen ever, but they've still got the
Where
radio.
the fuck is everybody?
There's
This is Wrexham bus station. Like literally no staff.
there's like one sign that says "Be back in like 5 minutes" or something like that. And there's clearly that's the employee for the night. The two people, the only two people that matter, are actually listening to this, and it's Tommy and it's Dr. Loomis. And we have that Dr. Loomis shot where he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm not dead.
Yeah.
I'm just retired." And like, it's like almost like, who the fuck is he looking at or saying that to? It's hilarious because he's on his own.
No, he's saying that to the audience. That's the audience.
Yeah, that's his like. That's
Also,
his
if we're going
opening
back-
reveal.
There as well, like that whole scene of Dr. Wynn being like, "Sam, I want you to come back to Smith's Grove." This 90-year-old man who's like, obviously had the worst time of his life over the last decade.
Decade and the rest.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Even what? And he's like, He's like, "Oh, I don't practice medicine anymore." I was like, "Yeah, no shit."
He's like, "Sam, you're looking really good." He's like, "Is he?" I will admit though, his full beard looks way better than just the goatee.
Oh yeah, doesn't it? I wish he had it throughout the whole series. He looks fucking ace in this.
Just
Yeah,
that
he
patch
looks
of
sick.
hair just adds so much to his
So
his
good,
image.
yeah.
It's great. So Paul Stephen Rudd, decides to go to this bus station, and he walks up to the guy working there when there actually are staff there, and he says, "Did the bus come in from so and so?" And then the guy's like, "Yes," and he stares at him like Terminator style, like as if he's reading on his
all
like
the lines.
Terminator vision which words he has to use next. And the
Yeah,
guy's
like
like,
eyeing up the guy's weight and height and stuff.
yeah, yeah. And
Whether
the
his
guy's
clothes
like,
will fit.
yeah. And like, it's a surprise he didn't go to like, "Fuck you, asshole." At the bottom. but he's like, "Are you looking for someone?" And he just goes, and he stares at him more, and he's just like, "Thanks." And he just like walks off. And then he cuts back into like Detective fucking Tommy, and he goes over to the phone box, and apparently nobody has seen the blood, which is all over the floor.
Hmm.
So he follows the blood trail down to the toilets, and then hears a baby crying, opens up the doors of this cabinet, picks up the baby, and he's clicked it all together because he's a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, logical for us as the audience members, but so that's how he finds the baby. He walks downstairs, follows the blood trail, hears the baby, opens up the cabinets, finds the baby.
What does he name the baby, Paul?
He names the baby Stephen.
I thought you were going to say Don Cheadle then.
He names the baby Don Cheadle.
Don. Going back to, as we're on it now, I might as well go back to, but that whole scene in the bus station, that's what really used to scare me as a kid, because you got that Nosferatu shot of Michael coming down the stairs, you know, where you can just see his shadow, and it's fucking so scary. And she's looking up, and then it's like, oh fucking hell, she's doomed. And I think this is what really makes obviously he's killed 2 people at this point, but this is what really makes it really scary. And then it cuts to her looking at him, and then it cuts back to his feet, and then back to him, and he's walking down the second set of stairs. but I think they must have taken reference from Halloween 2 because there's a very similar shot of Michael walking on the stairs, and he's not looking at the stairs being like, oh, well, like, he's just looking straight ahead. He's like back to like just being a ghost, like just staring, and it looks so fucking scary. And that whole scene of like, and I love I get it's a bit more of, there's like that tracking shot, isn't it, where he opens all 3 cubicles with his hand. You see his burnt hand.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that. I think it's very like, it's a film, but it works great. It's so scary.
So he opens the door and sees the window open and concludes that she's gone out the window with the baby.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he went out the window as well? Do you reckon he like climbed up and like
I don't know.
shuffled
I
through
hope,
the window?
I hope not, but if he was going to catch up with it, he must have had to either do that or run back up the stairs. So either way, he's fucking shown either way.
He looks like an absolute dick.
I just imagine his shoes making that noise like clip, 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 going up the stairs really quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that scene's like fucking, that scared me as a kid, big time.
She was very lucky that the baby didn't make any noises while he was there.
I know, I always think that. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, don't worry, that little shit baby makes some fucking noises later on, right at the wrong time.
Oh, yeah, shit, yeah. So where are we at now then? So we've had, Kara's just going into the house now,
So Kara has noticed Danny walking into the Myers house, where Michael has just been in, killing her brother and her brother's bird. She arms herself with a fire poker and then runs into the house, and this is where we get this is where the film like completely falls off a cliff and sort of goes fucking completely bonkers. This is where the cuts diverge completely now.
I think maybe after this scene.
This is where the theatrical cut and the producer's cut have pretty much been the same.
Yeah.
But so the group of heroes, Kara, Tommy, Little Danny, and Dr. Loomis. Which house are they in? Are they in the Myers house? Yeah, they're in the Myers house, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they're held hostage by the Cult of Thorn.
Right, no, you've missed a bit.
Which bit?
Yeah, before that.
She's going into the Myers house at this point. But remember that whole Myers house scene happens, and then they run back to Tommy's house.
So it's Tommy's house where everybody is.
Yeah. So let's go to the Myers house bit, because that's fucking great.
Go on, walk us through it then, because I fucking forgot about this bit.
Okay, so Kara has seen Danny walk into the house that she's just seen her brother's girlfriend get murdered in. So she's like, oh my god, gotta go over there. So she runs across, and then as soon as she gets into the house, she sees Danny at the very top of the stairs wandering to wherever he's going.
It's a good shot.
And she's like, oh shit. It's great. The house is completely black because there's no electric, and like the way it's lit, it's just spot on. It's great. So then she slowly makes her way towards, well, looking for her son. So shall I carry on?
Yeah, carry on. How do they end up back in Tommy's house?
So there's a bit. So she walks upstairs, and then she sees Beth dead in the bed.
Oh, and she lifts the blankets.
And she's like, oh god, what the hell? And the blanket's been thinking. And then you get this amazing soundtrack where it's like, it sounds like demons in hell all screaming together. And she lifts back the quilt and sees her brother. And like, great acting from her. She looks like she's about to throw up. It's fucking awesome. And then she looks to her right and she sees her son sat there just staring into the abyss. And then she goes in. He says, "Mommy," and she turns around and lo and behold, Michael Myers, looking about 9 foot in that shot, is just stood there, just walked. And again, he's not even trying to hide. He's just like, I'm here, I'm coming for you, I'm going to kill you. And it's fucking terrifying.
So then she runs down the corridor and hides. Does she hide in like a little alcove kind of thing?
A little cove, yeah. So I think she shuts the door on him, which I always find quite funny. He's just like, oh, that'll stop him, or whatever. But she's still there, but like, and she's walking back.
As he's walking back towards where she's gone, or where he thinks she's gone, she just fucking kicks the shit out of him, and he flies down the stairs.
Yeah, I gotta say, when you see Michael Myers fall down the stairs like that, it's kind of like, oh, you know, like when the bottom of his like boiler suit comes up and you can like see his socks and brogues. It's a bit like, oh, it's not scary. But it's a great stunt though. Like it's literally. But just before that though, it's where she sees her mum comes down from the attic door.
Yes, yeah.
Just see what happened to Deborah. And I remember watching this with years ago. Watching this with our uncle, and I remember and then Michael Myers burst out, And I remember our uncle was like, "Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?" And then Michael rips the axe out of Deborah, and he's like, "Yeah, he did it." It was like a proper it's like a Jason move, isn't it? So it's not very Michael, but
it's so brutal the way he does it though, because he's just like,
oh yeah,
like I don't know whether it's the sound effect or like his movements. He's just like, fuck
yeah. It's like
and
a
he just
mixture
like
of both.
shoves her aside and keeps going.
Yeah,
it's like
he didn't give a fuck.
proper,
He's just like, fucking, like he's just out to.
It's like
kill
he's
them.
pissed off in this one.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
The only Michael that's more pissed off than this Michael is the Rob Zombie Michael for the first one. Like, he's just so fucking angry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just got some. He's like, fucking hell. He's like, I can't just keep getting shot and stuff like that. I just need to do what I need to do. But yeah, so that, and then obviously he falls down the stairs, and I think that is one of the most tense scenes when it cuts back to Donald Pleasance and Paul Rudd like arrive back at their flat, and Cara and stuff are gone. But then it cuts back to the Myers house, and you've got Michael Myers lying on the floor.
Yeah.
But he's face up. Oh, it's just such a tense scene. It's so good. Like, he's passed out.
She has to step over Michael
Yeah.
to pick up Danny, picks him up very slowly, and step back over Michael. Then he grabs her leg. But
Yeah.
like I remember watching that bit and thinking, I don't know whether it'd be better to do it quickly or not. Like, step over him, grab the kid, and then fucking long jump over him to get
like
out
go
of
out the other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember that scene is like, obviously, like the way he's landed is not how he, because when he's falling down the stairs, he's like doing like fucking complete Scooby-Doo. You know, we see like all the cloud.
Yeah.
But I just remember that scene, like the way that whole scene is lit. It's just fucking great, and you see his mask on the floor, and he doesn't. We don't know whether he's like passed out or not. He might not be. He's just playing a game, but.
Yeah. I mean, it's more than likely the classic Michael takes a hit, which could potentially kill another person, but because it's him, it's probably just wiped them out for about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So you've got like that time limit before he comes back. Like in 5 when he gets shot through the door by Charlie, I think it is. And,
yeah.
Then it's literally 20 seconds. He's fucking back. So like.
Yeah.
So maybe he's got some kind of like Wolverine Deadpool healing ability. He's just like
could do
heals
it
and then
point,
he's
we
back into it. Yeah,
yeah, it's tense as fuck. That scene,
Yeah,
I love it.
it's cool.
It's so
Yeah,
scary.
it's good.
And then after this, I think is where the film goes.
Yeah.
But,
Sorry, I completely skipped all that bit. The previous bit.
So yeah, he's Kara's picked up Danny, creepily climbed over Michael. He grabs her leg and they shit their pants. And from there, they run out of the house. No, I need James for this bit because James. See, there's a theme in this film, and because I'm confused by both cuts, I think it's from the producer's cut, and it's like a really good score of. It sounds more like an 80s bass, like a fuzzy bass that's like, but it's got like a bell chime kind of thing going along with it, with like a synthy kind of beat as well. It's cool.
I think the general thoughts about the musical differences is the theatrical cut is more rock heavy, whereas the producer's cut is more traditional Halloween sort of music. Have I got that right?
I think during the scenes when they go to college, in the theatrical cut, there's like a rock song playing. It's kind of a bit more like modern day slasher.
It is. I Shazammed it, by the way. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
Oh yeah, go on.
Because I was like, it was the most generic, cheesy sounding shit.
It sounds a bit like it's like grungy, like Nirvana-y sort of thing, like you said earlier, Dan.
It was Brother Kane is the band, and the song is called "And Fools Shine On." It's like a 90s grunge bullshit kind of music.
Whereas in the producer's cut, they had the theme playing, like in the original.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you then, Paul. What did we say?
No, it's all right. I was just going to say, I think they used a few of that band's songs for this film.
Yeah.
After the theatrical cut, when the producer's cut was made, they did a test audience screening, and apparently they did it with teenagers and early-aged adults, young adults. Fucking early-aged adults. Jesus Christ. Young adults, right?
Keep that in, please.
And they reacted negatively to the score and everything like that. So, as you've mentioned before, Dan, it was this MTV fucking era, a bit later, like mid-90s.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All the kind of music that's coming out these days. Grunge had just ended pretty much. So like they were like, we got to revisit this, and we've got to basically put in some more modern music, which is completely more outdated now than what the original score would have sounded.
Definitely dates
Yeah, it
it.
kind of like hits the misses the mark.
Yeah, you can't outdate something more than by putting in a song from that particular year that whatever your creation is was made.
Should we get into the final act of the film?
Finale. Yes, let's.
Yes, big time.
Halloween 5 introduced us to the mysterious Man in Black. He arrived in Haddonfield by bus. He kicked a dog. He shot. He fucking shot up a police station. He dynamited Michael out. He stole Jamie's baby. He's been fucking appearing in little Danny Strode's fucking bedroom.
He also wears sick Tybalt boots from Romeo and Juliet as well. Those like cowboy boots with the metal bits on them.
So we find out who the Man in Black is. Now, the Man in Black is Dr. Wynn. Dr. Wynn has been appearing in this film, so this isn't completely out of the blue. However, Dr. Wynn is a character from the first Halloween film who appears for what? A minute at most?
No, yeah.
If that. I love Mitch Ryan. I love Mitch Ryan as Dr. Wynn. He is so good in the reveal. He's like so fucking great in this role. Dr. Wynn, being the Man in Black, was there any better candidate? Because I've got one.
Go on then.
Go on. No, I don't know.
So instead of being Dr. Wynn from Halloween 1, again, like we said, appears for 1 minute, that's it. Now, cast your minds back to episode 4, Halloween 4. There was, at the start of the film, there is a doctor that is transferring Michael.
Yeah.
Dr. Hoffman. Now, that would have been a better reveal than Dr. Wynn, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I never even thought of that, but yeah, big time. And if you could have got the same actor, because he had a really good voice.
He was so sinister in Halloween 4, I thought, oh god.
And it would have made sense with the trilogy.
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would have been like a callback to the first film.
Yeah,
so the third film would have been a callback to the first film. I would have really enjoyed that. But I do love Mitch Ryan as Dr. Wynn. He's probably one of my favourite characters in this film. I like the way the reveal. I like the way the hat turns up and Donald Pleasance is like Wynn, like as if he almost was expecting it.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you two guess that it was going to be him when you first watched it, or when you've rewatched it, or whatever?
I don't think I don't even think they make it like. I only know it's Dr. Wynn because I've watched stuff about this film, like from the first film, you know.
I was a kid when I watched this, so I've always known that the Man in Black is Dr. Wynn. So that's how I've always... No, there's no mystery for me. I wouldn't have guessed, though, I don't think.
I've got this method, right, that I use for... When I watch a film and there's like a mystery, like a whodunit kind of thing, it's always a person who has got no point in being in the story. So let's look at the film Devil. They're all in that lift together. Shit film, by the way. And it's like at the end...
It has its ups and downs, though. Sorry.
That was tough. So in that film, it's like, who has got absolutely no point in being in this film? It's the old woman, and she turns out to be the devil of that film. This method has always worked for me. It's always the only reason. Another film, Happy Death Day. It turns out.
I've not seen that.
All right, I won't say anything, but if you follow this method that I'm trying to explain very badly, it always turns out to be the person who is there for no reason other than being the twist person.
Yeah.
And that works out. So when you watch this film, like
kind of how Anne Dowd in Hereditary, you know, she turns up and it's kind of like.
Yeah, why is this person in this film?
Yeah, so like a bit less so because I guess it's done a bit better, but also it's like when it's revealed she's the thing, I wasn't like, oh my god.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Talk about Scream 2. So the killer in Scream 2, spoilers if you haven't seen Scream 2 30 years later. The first killer is originally revealed to be Mickey. And it's like who? What's
I
the
know
point
he's
of
not in it for fucking ages, is it?
Like we get the extra reveal of it being Billy Loomis's mother, but yeah, so it's like he's like going back to what you said, Paul. He's just there for literally no reason.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it does work. Like I haven't explained it very well. I would probably explain it better in a pub over beers.
Yeah.
Not under pressure on this podcast, but it fucking does work. There's no pressure at all. But it does work, right? And this is how I can always guess who the culprit is going to be.
Yeah.
So if you put it to this film, all the way through the film, he's essentially a new character. He's in there for no reason, just keeps appearing, and it's like he's quite a prominent character as well. He's got quite a lot of character in his character. He's there, and it's fucking obviously him.
I tell you this, here's a question though, right? You wouldn't know. So Loomis, at the start of the film, Loomis meets Wynn, and Wynn is like, "I want you to come back to Smith's Grove, Sam." You wouldn't know unless you were a fan that was Dr. Wynn from the first film. That's only after the fact.
But then, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know a point in the film where, like, because I remember watching the first one when we did it for this. Like, does he even say Dr. Wynn's name in that first film?
No, maybe no.
Like, it's like the whole Tommy Doyle being in Halloween 4. Like, I only know that from watching videos about it on YouTube.
After the fact,
yeah. So it's a bit like it doesn't matter that it's the guy from the first film. Yeah.
But it would have been nice to have the Dr. Hoffman actor come back.
I agree with that. I think that's a really good shout. Yeah, I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because him and Loomis had actual like on-screen time together.
Yeah, they had on-screen chemistry. Yeah, they had at least one good scene together. Well, they had.
You're right. No, they did have like a good chemistry though, didn't they? Because it was like.
Let's just quickly before we move on, and we'll just have to make this one quick. So let's talk about Mrs. Blankenship. The actress's name is Janice. Sorry, the actress's name is Janice Nickrem. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think Janice Nickrem has got in common with Paul Stephen Rudd?
They're married.
They're married.
Have they been in a film together? Another one. Is she in Friends?
So Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, was Paul Stephen Rudd's first film. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers was her first film. This was her first theatrical film role.
Wow.
She was a theatre actress.
Yeah. She's actually really good. You know, she's telling Danny the story of Halloween.
I thought she was great when she was like breaking the law.
Yeah.
Holding the knife.
It's just that line later is so like. Ugh.
So they sort of retcon it that she was babysitting little Mikey Myers on the night that he killed his sister.
Is that true, or is she just making it? Like, she might be obsessed with Michael Myers.
You decide what you believe, because I mean, it's not too hard to believe that she was across the road and Mikey was there, and she was like, "Go on, go and kill your sister," and off he went.
Actually, yeah. Bearing in mind, she actually lives opposite the house, so maybe she's lived there her whole life.
Right. So we get the Wynn reveal. We get Cara Strode runs upstairs. She gets confronted by a knife-wielding Mrs. Blankenship, who, with a massive heel turn, "Hello, dear."
I hate that line.
So Cara then, it's so crap and over the top.
Yeah,
it's so like trying to be Norman Bates.
Yeah, I know.
I love it. I do.
Do you really?
I absolutely love it.
Why?
I think it's fucking. I don't know. It's just that that whole thing about people being in on it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, especially if the backstory of hers that she's been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like Truman Show, fucking.
Yeah.
Everyone's in on it, kind of stuff. And apparently there was.
Oh no, I like the lore behind it, but I just don't like that one line.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's hammy as shit.
Paul, were you about to say? I'm not sure if we'd watched the same video, but there was a script. There was a script written for this where the whole town were in on it, which I fucking love.
Yes.
I love that idea.
Yeah, so do I. Which is probably. You can see that in Hereditary. So
yeah, man.
If you go back to that house party, a lot of those kids were in on it as well, and the kids in his classroom, they're part of it as well.
Shit, I never knew that. Actually, thinking about it,
there's a YouTube channel called Novum, and it's this guy who does like really deep dives.
So, Cara does a fucking swan dive out the window. Smash.
Fucking yeets herself out of that window.
I'm not even going to try and make sense of the plot at this point, because she jumps out of there, but then we next see her, she's wearing this white dress and she's being held a prisoner.
She's been taken away, and Paul Rudd and Loomis have been drugged. So they wake up.
I wonder how they...
I feel like I've been drugged. We have been drugged. Like, when? By who? Why did they just
Exactly,
fucking
yeah.
shoot you? Like, I'll take you with them. Like,
I know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like
this is the bollocks of the film.
This is like the clear defining line of like where they had to cut this together and be like, let's just think of something to say.
Yeah, but it's sound though. It doesn't matter. It's like it's fucking.
No, I know. You're right. It doesn't matter. It's
To
just
me,
that,
it does.
like it
To
would have
me,
been better. It would have been better if like she jumps out the window and then maybe they all woke up in like Smith's Grove. But like it just cuts to them outside, stood there like perfectly fine. But like I feel like I've been drugged.
Rubber in the back of their heads to show they've got headache.
Yeah.
And the camera shots from from the window that she went out of as well.
Yeah,
so from
yeah.
up top.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, for me, that doesn't matter that much. It's like I don't care that that's just been filmed to connect the rest of the
To
story.
connect it. No, I know
But
what you.
I'm not that fussy. So I can understand how people would hate it.
It's just more that
Yeah.
line. I think like if they had to film it, it's just like that line. It's like I feel like I've been drugged. It's like we have been drugged. It's like come on.
Dan, when you messaged saying think of your best Loomis moment because this is his last film, I watched a video on Loomis's best moments. One of them was that they were like smash cut with little shots of Loomis just being crazy, and one of them was like we have been drugged. It's like it's fucking great. I love it.
Loomis has probably been on fucking drugs the whole fucking his whole life.
I've got a list of sort of best Loomis moments, but I'm going to let you two give me your favourite. Which, anyway, right, let's fucking bring this home. Right, so we end up back in Smith's Grove, and there's a lot of fucking dicking around. So it turns out that so Tommy, Cara, the kids are trying to escape. I've already gone over it, the bit where like Paul Rudd where Tommy first sees Michael for the first time and he's banging on the door with the fire extinguisher. Now I really love this scene because I love the way Michael looks at Tommy, and Tommy's panicking, dying, like shitting his pants, and they're about to run away, and then they lock like the gate behind them, but then Michael reaches through the prison gate and he grabs Cara by the back of the head and he pulls her back he's trying to be like the T-1000 and she's Sarah Connor, but he's not strong enough to like morph through the grid to get through the other side. I like you can look at Tommy and he's like panicking, he's like shit what do I do, and there's like a moment where he's like PTSD, he's like sort of blanks out, and then he's like oh, and he notices all the riot guns on the wall. And he fucking puts one on Michael's shoulder and just boom, and Michael goes flying about 6 meters back. Yeah, I love that. I thought it was awesome bit of action.
I like the fact that Michael grabs it as well to be like, I don't know whether he's trying to stop it or whatever. He's just like, but yeah. But again, it's just like it cuts to. Don't get me wrong, like you know in like Scream, whenever like the killer's like dead dopey and he falls over furniture and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it makes him, and it's not scary. But like every time you see Michael Myers, like you know he fell down the stairs earlier. Every time you see his fucking shoes, it's just it's the worst. And like this is like you see him and he like falls back and his leg goes in the air. You see like I don't know. It's just seeing a killer's socks and shoes is like the worst. It's the worst thing to make you be like. Oh. I mean, he's still scary.
The fact that he's put socks on it.
But like Thorne would give him that uniform, like Thorne uniform socks. Or, I don't know.
Instead of like Nike socks with the swoosh, he's got like the Thorne.
Yeah, the Thorne logo. Yeah, just do it. Like, yeah.
Just kill him.
Just kill him.
Yeah.
So we get the scene next where fucking Loomis arrives at Wynn's office and Wynn is sat in his like swivel chair and he's like, Sam, what took you so long? And I was like, why didn't you just fucking bring him? If you had something to say to him, why didn't you just bring him with you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's very.
This is all very spliced together and all that. And as he's explaining, he's like, we're on the precipice of a new era, Sam. That baby, blah blah blah, can just whatever. And I was just like, oh, this is where it was like making no sense to me.
Just before we carry on, so when Tommy and Loomis turn up to the Smith's Grove, they like pull up and they pull up to like the employees' entrance, and it's fucking so great. It's just like this back alley, like fucking screw something. They'd be like, oh, what? And they're like, what can we do to set design this? And they just stick a big sign up that's just like a big white sign that's like employees' entrance. Oh, it just looks, I don't know, it just like stood out to me. It was just like, what? This is where all the employees enter the building every day. It looks like it closed down at this point.
Yeah, I think Smith's Grove isn't operational anymore.
Oh, right, yeah. Because that makes, like, the way it looks and the way it, yeah, like, we're...
No, it is operational because at least, like, on a front because Wynn asks Loomis to come back from him. Wynn is the head of Smith's Grove, so it is at least like running like some sort of like front.
Yeah, it just made me laugh because they just turn up and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's go through this entrance."
So when Wynn has this conversation with Loomis like that, a cult member walks in and like clubs Loomis over the back of the head. And this is where my liar joke comes in. I'll see you later, dickhead.
I knew it was gonna. Yeah. Or it's just like I can imagine like Dr. Loomis would walk in and be like, "You're out of your mind," and like Wynn just sits there for a while, just being serious, and then just burst out laughing. Do Simmons. Yeah. Simmons is old.
I can't tell where Michael Myers begins and you end.
But also, I remember watching this film and thinking, like, fucking, like, if you're gonna whack Dr. Loomis over the head, like, surely that's gonna kill him, right?
Yeah, he's 75. That'd fucking kill anybody. like, look what happened to poor Mr. Garrow.
yeah, true.
Let's fucking get into this now, right? So we're going with the theatrical cut. So Dr. Wynn and his gang of fucking bellends go to perform some surgery on the baby, or is it on Danny? Or
I don't know what
they're
they're actually
doing?
trying to do here.
They're trying to like distill pure evil, and get it into a way that they can use it as a weapon, because.
So.
And again, this is all because of the cut.
Yeah, I know it's a mess, but like, what is? Because why is Danny there? Because like he's about to be like he's in the room as if he's going to be operated on as well.
So this is how I think the plot goes, right? This is what they intended to be. They don't put it over well in either cut. So Michael Myers is like this ultimate evil that kills everybody, right? And Michael Myers has to kill his family because he's cursed with Thorn. He has to kill every blood relative he has. But the fact that he's also like a pure weapon, like a xenomorph style thing, is what the cult of Thorn is trying to control.
Yeah. Do
you get me so far? But also, they can create new weapons like Michael.
Yeah.
And because Michael's getting a bit older now, he's only like 35, 40 or whatever, but they want to retire him. So they're going to give him baby Stephen to kill. So once Michael kills baby Stephen, because they can't kill Michael because he's like him all, everyone's tried, he will give up being this pure killer, and then maybe he'll become mortal, and then they can kill him. But on the other hand, they still want a pure weapon, so they're convincing they're going to put the curse onto Danny Strode and have him be the next Michael Myers. So that's what they were going for, I think.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
But you would never know that from watching this film. Like, you would never know that from watching either cut of this film. Like, that is taking years to put together.
That sounds right to me.
We haven't actually touched upon, like, throughout the whole film, Wynn is basically grooming Danny. And also, I don't get, when he rings the house, he rings Deborah and be like, "We want the child." Like, what's she gonna do? Okay.
The only time you ever see Wynn and Danny together is at the start, when Wynn is like, well, the man in black.
In his room.
Otherwise, there's never... Yeah. There might be some interaction later on.
But he's hearing like voices and stuff like that, and then he hears... That's why he goes over to the Myers house, is Danny, come to me.
They're trying to show that Danny has got the same thing Michael had with him.
Yes.
Anyway, fuck that. Right. This is where we get a pretty good scene in the movie. So the cult are they're performing surgery on somebody, or whatever they're doing.
And just so you know who Dr. Wynn is, he wears red.
Michael interrupts this profound, bizarre surgery and massacres everybody in the room. He kills about 6 or 7 of the doctors. You don't see Dr. Wynn die. The last time you see Dr. Wynn, he sort of backs away with the mask on, so he's not a confirmed kill, but,
Again, I think it's because of the cuts and the theatrical and
yeah. I don't know if they did film a death for him. And then we get a pretty fucking scary chase scene where Michael is not only chasing Tommy, Cara, Danny, and Stephen, but he's also chasing a rogue doctor that has escaped the surgical room. Now, this doctor is played by George P. Wilbur, so Michael is chasing himself. I really, really like this chase scene. It's pretty cool. What did you think of the chase?
I remember watching it as a kid, and I was like, fucking really scared by it. Like, in those tunnels and stuff like that, it's like a completely different setting for this series. And it's the fastest you ever see Michael walk. I think there's a shot when he's chasing George P. Wilbur and he's basically like got a little bit of a jog on.
Yeah.
And it's quite scary. It's like, it's scary as fuck. Yeah, it's well scary.
Yeah, he's very brutal in his mannerisms in this part. He's walking faster than usual. I was going to say probably because he knows he has to catch up to them, but that doesn't really work in these films.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to him.
But he's got strut on him as well. He's not just walking after him. He's fucking.
He's like that, and his shoulders are like. It's like he's wearing a Stone Island jacket or something. He's just strutting. Show the badge.
He's like really fucking trying to walk fast. It'd be funny if they gave him like a speed walk.
Yeah. Well, like Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, yeah. Just fucking speed walk.
Doing that, like close up on his feet, just like staying on the ground as well.
On his boots and socks, his fucking just kill him socks. Because you know he's not allowed to run. He's got to walk,
I know.
So he's fucking speed walks.
That's like the weird thing in it. It's like the way it's shot is like, I don't know. The way it's shot is like, so it's much more modern. So it's like he has to be like menacing. It's not like Halloween 2 where he can cut to him like a mile away and he'll still catch you. Yeah, it's like he has to chase you. So
less of the phantom Michael Myers who doesn't matter how fast you run, he's going to appear behind you or something.
Yeah, he's basically
it's more of a fucking more Jason like Terminator style.
Yeah,
he is. If you look behind you, he's still going to be that far away.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how. Absolutely.
Because he's fucking strutted up to you, know. Actual scary Michael in this film compared to like the last couple.
Yeah.
The bit that got me in this film now, and it ties into this final act now. Michael bursts into the room and Tommy Doyle's like, ah! When he screams and Michael puts his fist through it, he comes in. We get the big fight scene between, well, all of them. So Tommy's got him with they all try and hide, and there's a bit where Michael grabs Cara around the throat and he pins her down, like he almost chokeslams her onto the desk.
Yeah.
And he is squeezing at her throat, and like I've seen this film 10 times in my life, and I was watching that and I was thinking, oh my god, she's actually going to die. I was so biting on that finish. I was like, fuck man, like he's squeezing her throat, she's grappling at his mask trying to pull it off, and this is the only time the mask comes into play in the film. Like I thought about this, I thought, oh, they haven't mentioned the mask at all, you know, like she's like trying to pull his face off, and he's like crushing her neck and all that, and you just hear Danny, leave my mom alone, and I thought that was such a powerful scene. But then the next scene was even better, because Michael stalks over to Danny, who's holding baby Stephen, like holding him like that, and he's hiding, and Michael's trying to bash through to get to him, and he's like, even though he's just said, leave my mum alone, like he's there, he's like, mom, help, and I was like, oh fuck man, this is like, I was like, I was so biting on these finishes, I thought, oh no, this is too much for me.
Do you know what it is about the her trying to get the mask as well? Her arms aren't long enough to quite grab it, so she's that's how like close she is to like possibly helping herself, but she's that close to death.
I'm so glad that they didn't pull the mask off. That would
definitely
suck.
Yeah, I didn't like Michael abandoning a kill to just go and see what else was on offer, but then I guess if he thought she was dead,
kind of had to happen though with it. Do you know what that would suck as well? They killed Cara. So obviously like Paul Rudd, he's like, oh Mike, you've won, calls him Mike, and then he's like, oh you've won, and he's got the blanket which looks like baby Stephen, and then obviously jams him full of those like needles full of green shit. But there's a scene, so he grabs Paul Rudd by the throat and chucks him away, and then he pulls like 6 needles out of his shoulder. But there's a scene where, you know, after he pulls them out, he shakes his head like that, but it looks like, to me it looks like, I don't know, it's not, he looks really cute in it, because like it looks like a cat when it sneezes. Like, I don't know, I just don't like the shake. It's like too human, I think. He's like, oh.
I imagine either the direction was look like you're shaking it off, or the actor was just like, I'll just do it. Because that's the other guy playing him at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's just like, shake it off kind of thing. Whereas Michael would have just been like, ripped out, look straight up, and then carry on. However, for me,
it's just
for me,
something I picked up on when I think it just looks like, I was like, ah. Like, he's been hurt, bless him. You know,
when I say for me, it doesn't matter that much. I don't mean like I'm above anyone. I just mean that my standards are like much lower. So,
No, I know what you mean.
I like the bit now. So I said he's reaching for for Danny and Stephen like that, and you see the needles go into his back again, and I like that that Tommy is like, right, fuck it worked for the first time for a bit, let's fucking try it again, and they just go dunk in his back.
Yeah. I kind of like the fact as well that that's why he can beat the shit out of him, because he's actually like injected full of whatever that shit is. Yeah.
Michael's protected on the finish here. like he shouldn't be getting beat by Tommy Doyle, but he gets protected on the finish because he's been injected by all this green shit. He's been shot with a fucking riot gun anyway. Yeah. And Tommy ends up beating the shit out of him with a pipe. And like, what is that meant to be? His blood? All that green shit that comes out the mask?
I know.
I don't think
I know what it is. So you know the film Prince of Darkness. So they're trying to, if I'm right, I haven't seen this in a long time. They're trying to get the green
out of the devil.
Yeah, it's that. That's what blood's made out of.
Shit, yeah, it's a fucking nod to that, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it could be. That's what I thought.
I choose to believe it is.
Now it's canon.
So, yeah. You heard it first here on this podcast. It is canon. Prince of Darkness and Halloween 6 share a universe.
Welcome to Dark Talk.
So, the good guys leave. So we got Kara, Tommy, Danny, baby Stephen. They're about to leave. They urge Dr. Loomis to come with them. And Loomis, I've got unfinished business. Loomis goes back into Smith's Grove, and the final shot of the film, we see Michael Myers' mask lying on the floor. The camera pans down to it. We hear somebody scream in the background. Is it Donald Pleasance? Is it Dr. Loomis?
It is, yeah. It's from the producer's cut, but
implying that Dr. Loomis has he been killed by Michael? Because that's what I always used to read. But then I choose to believe that he's found that Michael is gone.
In the producer's cut, Michael is gone. He takes the mask off, what he thinks Michael Myers is, right? And it's Dr. Wynn. Is that right, Paul?
Dr. Wynn approaches Michael, who's stuck inside these like stones.
The runes.
The runes, yeah, sorry. So he's like stuck standing still, possibly in a trance or whatever. And Wynn approaches him. And then it cuts back to the car scene where Loomis says, I've got something else to do, got shit to do. And then when it goes back, Loomis walks in. Michael, air quotations, is on the floor. And this bit always made me remember because Loomis is like acting and walking towards him, but he like just kicks one of the stones. And it just like flies off. And then he kneels down and without any hesitation pulls the mask off and it's Wynn. From there, we cut to like this corridor with a bright light, and it's the outline of a man wearing a hat. And he turns to the side, and you can see his. And then it cuts down and shows his boots, and he's not wearing the Man in Black boots. He's wearing the Michael boots. And he walks up to the door. Yeah, implying that. Also, sorry, I missed that. Wynn says something along the lines of, "It's on you now." And he transfers the Cult of Thorn symbol to Loomis, who looks at his wrist, screams, and those screams are the ones that are put in the theatrical version.
Okay.
So I remember watching this when I was a kid, and obviously I didn't even know about the producer's cut. But in the theatrical cut, it obviously tracks down to a shot of the Michael Myers mask with the needle that Tommy shoved in his back, assumingly. And then Loomis's screams happen, but obviously when you watch that, there's no context to it. So I thought it was just some fucking like crazed man going, because it cuts to that pumpkin like outside the Myers house, and I was like, what the fuck? I loved it, but weird.
I don't choose to believe that Loomis died in the theatrical cut. I choose to believe that he was either screaming that Michael was gone. I can't see.
Yeah, that's what I always thought it was. Yeah,
I think that's what it's meant to be.
After I'd read some more stuff.
If Michael was going to kill Loomis, then it would have to be filmed, and they would have to show it. Like you can't have Loomis dying.
No.
I take it as that's what he's screaming about. He comes back to like his business isn't finished. He goes back to kill Michael. He goes back. The mask is there. Michael's gone. And he starts screaming because he can't kill him, and that was going to be the end of it. Leaving it very, very open and very vague.
No, I'm with you.
Which ending do you two prefer?
I like the theatrical because it implies Loomis is still alive. Michael just escaped, obviously, because Paul Rudd didn't kill him, which I always found a bit weird as well. Maybe he thought he killed him.
Thing is that he doesn't die in either version, Loomis. in the producers, he gets the tattoo transferred to him.
I think the producer's ending is so fucking dumb. Like, it's so stupid. Like, look, Loomis is going to be the killer now. He's got the curse. Well, fuck off. Ugh.
I've got something to say about this though. Right, both like the theatrical is shitter because it leaves it too open. It's too vague. However,
no, I disagree.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. You have to make the sense up in your brain. But in the producer's version, at least it gives you like a definitive kind of ending to the film, but leaving it very open for the next one. However, I've got a little theory myself that because the cult are pretty much done, they're dead, Michael has basically come back to his senses, remembered everything, realised that he's got to get GT the fuck out of here, and he's like put on a disguise and done a Dusty straight out the fucking door.
All right, yeah, okay. I can buy that. I can't buy this Donald Pleasance with the fucking wristband shit.
Yeah, like it appears on him. It's a bit.
I don't know whether they were just like going, right, we've got to leave it open for another one. Because that's what they always do with these films. Yeah. Which I don't think is a bad thing because we always get another film, which is always good for me, whether it's shit or good. But they always end with a, not a cliffhanger, but like an open ending so that it could, like if they did bring out 7 and then Loomis had the thing and he was trying to get Michael back so he could kill more people. Maybe, I don't know. I think it was just a bit of a cop-out, but yeah.
Yeah.
I can't fault the ending too much because you've got about, what, say 10 people all angling for different visions of this film, what they want it to be.
Yeah.
The fact that we're talking positively about this film and we're not slating it completely shows that, like, it was an alright job. You know, this was not Halloween 5, this was not Halloween 4, this was way better, and this was the mistake of a film that we got released. So if they'd have had somebody in charge that could put out a film like this with one vision, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
It is a mess, it is. I come back to Star Wars, right? I will say now, I used to be, but I'm not now. I'm not a fan of Star Wars. Let's talk about The Last Jedi, is it? So you've got The Force Awakens, which was basically just a rehash of the first one. And then The Last Jedi, which came after that, which basically it was Rian Johnson, was it? Who directed it. And he basically went outside of the box and tried to create his own kind of story and stuff, which fucked it up for the next guy, which is basically what these line of films did as well.
Okay, guys, let's hear your recastings. So, Kara Strode, the final girl, the lead. Who would you recast as Kara Strode today?
Right. If I may, I'm going to go first with everyone because I think my recast is fucking ace, and I don't want to sound like I'm copying you. I did say earlier that my Kara Strode is probably on a weaker level. It's not like that great, like not as good as the others. So I've got Caitlin Nakin, who, Dan, you will know from The Walking Dead. She was Enid in like season 6 or something like that. She, I think it's pronounced. She's Carl's. Yeah, he like saves her from like a bunch of walkers. It's like his first save or something like that. And she writes the letters on the mirrors all the time.
Yeah, just survive somehow.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, she's not like been in loads or anything, but she just sprung to mind for a girl that age. Actually, I changed my Kara because of my Tommy, because I wanted them to be more of a similar age. I think my original was I don't remember, but
Yeah, good shout. James, who did you have?
So I had, for this, Jennifer Carpenter, who plays Dexter's sister in Dexter. Yeah, I think she's got that look about her. She's pretty tough.
Is she in that film?
Yeah.
Paul, do you know that film with Mel Gibson?
Yeah, and she's the bank clerk. Yeah, how good is... Yeah. How gross is that scene?
What, is it concrete? Dragged across
concrete. That I fucking love that. That was fucking gross. That death scene was gross.
Paul, do you know it, don't you?
No.
Oh, do you not? Sorry.
No.
She's got that look about her. She's got that like same sort of face and stuff like that. But like she's quite.
What's her name, sorry?
Jennifer Carpenter.
Well, I chose Aubrey Plaza from. Have you ever seen from Parks and
Rec? Yeah.
From the Chucky remakes as well, isn't she?
I cast her as my Jack's missus in The Shining. You know when we spoke about that briefly.
Yeah. Nice.
Aubrey Plaza's fucking awesome. She's
Have you seen? Oh, because I watched. Have you seen Emily the Criminal?
yes,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I watched it on a plane somewhere. It's fucking well good, isn't it?
She's also in the remake of Child's Play as well.
Yeah, awful film.
Yeah, but she
Oh,
like
shit,
it aligns her with the horror kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
I like that.
No,
Child's
you
Play film.
don't.
I do. I thought it was pretty good. Honestly, I actually quite
You like
it.
that, but you don't like Halloween 5.
Right, I'm going to
Okay,
say
yeah.
my Tommy Doyle, I had Paul Rudd as a joke because he's ageless. But you guys go ahead. Whoever wants to go first.
Go on, Paul.
Right, get your Googles ready
Go on.
and be prepared to be amazed. Jack Rudd.
Jack Rudd.
Yeah. Guess who the fuck that is? It's Paul Rudd's son.
Okay, so that's the first time I've ever seen Paul Rudd look old. It's the next. Is it his son?
Paul Rudd can't have a son because he's a Highlander and Highlanders can't have children.
Is it his son or brother?
He's his son.
Oh, it's his fucking son. No way. He looks the same age.
There's a picture, if you go on Google Images, there's a picture of them standing together.
Yeah,
And
like a-
they've got like
yeah.
the
Like a
exact
couple, yeah.
same face.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there you go. I don't even think he's an actor. He's only like 18 or something, but there you
Yeah,
go.
it doesn't matter.
He's actually 92.
Paul Rudd's like 300.
Yeah, it's his granddad, yeah.
Paul Rudd's older than time.
Not very good one for this. I just thought, like, young, so BJ Novak from The Office.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's got that look about him. Like,
Yeah, I get that.
I'm going to give my... We're going to go with Dr. Wynn, the Man in Black now, okay? But I'm going to go...
I'm going first.
No, I've got to go first.
No, I'm going
No,
first.
I have to because mine's going to be underwhelming. So if you've got a good one, you should say what's after mine, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you know this person, Paul. James, I know you know him. He's a Danish actor. He's called Klaus Bang, and he is...
oh, yeah, fucking good shout.
Klaus Bang.
He plays Dracula in the most recent BBC one. He's also in The Bridge. He's a Danish actor, but he's got such a perfect English
He's
accent.
in, have you boys watched Bad Sisters on Apple? It's about, like, one of these sisters is married to him, and he's a fucking, like, abusive fucking prick. And it's all these sisters trying to plot how they can kill him. It's fucking great. But he's such an arsehole and he's a great actor. That's a good choice. That's not underwhelming at all. That's fucking... You probably topped it there.
Well, Paul, have you got a picture of him?
Klaus Bang. Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, I just googled him a second ago. Yeah,
That's a good shout, though.
Yeah, it's a good.
Right, come on, Paul. Give me this earth-shattering, knee-trembler, multiple orgasm Dr. Wynn you've got.
Right. So I was in training the other day, and I was not paying attention to anything that was happening other than what I was going to say about this choice. And I was sitting there, I was thinking, I actually came up with a huge speech about it, and it went along the lines of this. The Big Bang happened, atoms formed, particles formed, creating life on planets. Planets and celestial bodies were created, leading to Earth. Every single moment, every breath, every movement happened on Earth, just to come to this point in time where you would recast Dr. Wynn with Bruce Campbell.
Who? Bruce... Oh, Bruce...
What? Fuck off!
Ugh.
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, I don't know.
What? Are you mental?
Are you mental?
Dr. Wynn doesn't have enough of a...
Yeah,
there isn't
yeah.
enough substance in the Dr. Wynn role to justify wasting it on Bruce Campbell. Do you know what I mean? You can't use Bruce Campbell on something like that.
No.
No, I'm not being a dick. I'm not being a dick.
You're all mental. This is the best choice ever. I know you don't have to
see that,
Google
to be
him.
honest.
I know you don't have to Google him, but Google him right now.
Bruce Campbell deserves a better role than Dr. fucking Wynn in Halloween 6.
He was born to play this role.
He'd be Dr. Loomis in Rob Zombie's
No,
remake. for
he
sure.
was born to play Dr. Wynn in Halloween 666. The
I
curse
don't
of
know. I
Michael
don't know. The curse.
I'm so offended by your answer.
I mean,
I'm
maybe
not
if you hadn't
seeing it.
overhyped it so much, maybe I'd be a bit
Fine,
more
yeah.
like...
I'm sorry, Paul, but I'm not seeing it.
Bruce Campbell would be good at playing like Jason's dad or something like that. Not Dr. fucking Wynn, man. That's such a...
You are mad.
Dr. Wynn is such a nothing role. Like, Bruce Campbell deserves like a fucking like awesome role.
No, I'm with Dan on this one. I'm sorry, Paul, but
James, did you have a Dr. Wynn?
I actually had 1, 2, 3. I had 4 people for Dr. Wynn. So we'll go with my favourite was Liev Schreiber.
Yeah, Liev Schreiber's ace.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a good one. You know, he's not like A-lister, but you know he's. But then I guess if you saw him in a film, you'd be like, he's definitely going to turn up later.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And then another one was Stellan Skarsgård, but again, bit too A-lister, fucking, you know. But then also, have you guys watched Fargo, the first TV
Not
series?
the first one.
Yeah.
So I was thinking Martin Freeman because he can be a right prick when he wants to be. But yeah, but I'll go with Liev Schreiber. I think that's my first.
I think out of those three, I would go with Liev Schreiber because I think Stellan Skarsgård again is too good.
Absolutely, yeah.
My favourite of our three, I think Klaus Bang is my favourite.
I would, yeah, I agree with you, Don. Klaus Bang.
I completely disagree. I think even my second choice is better than any of yours. My second choice was Sam Neill.
Oh, mine was. Oh no, mine was Sam Elliott.
Sam,
Sam Neill would be fucking good though, yeah.
Sam Elliott with his mustache.
Sam Neill would be well better than Bruce Campbell. I'm sorry, man, I just can't see it. I can't see Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell's like fucking. He's like over the top and mental. Like Dr. Wynn is like not that.
Yeah.
Not that.
Bruce Campbell for Dr. Loomis.
Just wait until you see my version of this film come out in the next time. When I
Who's playing
Bruce
Michael?
Campbell,
Who's playing
he'll be
Michael Myers? That's what I want to know.
Don Cheadle.
In your.
Don Cheadle.
For John Strode, for John Strode, I've got electrocuted and his head explodes. No, okay, right. I've got Delaney Williams for John Strode. He plays Jay Landsman from The Wire.
Oh, fucking yeah. Nice.
He's so good as an actor. He's like one of the best characters in The Wire.
Yeah.
I love him in The Wire.
What did he turn up in recently that I said? Oh, it was. He was in.
We Own This City. He's been in Punisher.
He was in Special Victims Unit. You know, I was sending you photos of every time somebody. He's like a main character in the other version of it, isn't he? Law and Order, the normal one.
From Googling him, he looks very similar to John Strode. I have got. This is the second choice that I ended up coming up with. Who is better? David Koechner, mostly.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah, the prick from The Office. He's Ralph Ineson's American character, isn't he?
Yeah, he is such an arsehole.
Yeah, he is a prick, like.
Is he in Better Call Saul, James? Is he the guy from...
Yeah.
He is the guy from Better Call Saul, isn't he?
Might be, yeah.
He is, yeah. He's the guy that runs the bank in Better Call Saul.
Wait.
Is he?
No. It's fucking not, but I know you fucking mean. The one who rung the bank. Oh, shit, yeah.
Right, so you know it. You'll know him from Anchorman as well. He's in The Office. He's in Twin Peaks as well. He's in the Return.
Yeah.
He's also in a film called Cheap Thrills, where he plays this rich arsehole who, with his missus, get these two poor dudes to start doing things for money, and like one of them cuts off his own finger, and it's quite a dark film. Like it gets dark, you know, and you can see that like real sinister side to him, even though he's like mostly a comedy actor.
Do you know who I thought when you said David Koechner, and when I googled him, do you know who I thought he was? I thought he was John Carroll Lynch from The Invitation. You know the guy from The Invitation that killed his wife?
Yeah.
Which Invitation are we talking about? The one with
The Logan Marshall Green one.
not Tom Hardy.
He's the killer in the Zodiac. Well, he's the Zodiac.
In the Zodiac, yeah. Well, the killer in
Shutter Island.
Yeah, that's a fucking good shout. That would be great.
Who did you think I was going to choose though? Because you said you guessed a couple of mine.
I thought you were going to choose John Goodman.
I thought you were going to choose John Goodman because he's literally
Oh,
like.
you thought that.
Well, I thought it would be like. I don't think you'd pick him thinking he would be in the film, but that's who he looks and sounds like, right? I would love to see Bradford English in a Coen Brothers film. So I've got 2 for the. Well, no, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I chose like 5 for this. One of them was J.K. Simmons.
Again.
Yeah. Can you imagine him being a fucking
He's back.
Yeah.
You don't need to imagine him being a prick. We've been fucking watching Oz for years. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, true, yeah. The other one was Michael Harney. You know, he's the prick copper in True Detective. You know, the one they threaten on the boat? He's got that look about him, like that, like... And I didn't know he was in Orange is the New Black until, like, was I watching True Detective or something? And my housemate was like, oh my god, that's him from this show. I was like, because he's so, like, real in True Detective. I was like, he's never been in anything else. This is, like,
Yeah.
you know... Like, he can't be an actor. It must be authentic Louisiana man. But yeah, either of those two. J.K. Simmons might be a bit too big for that role now.
Deborah Strode. Who have you got, Deborah Strode? I'm going to go first. So I had Jean... Is it Jean or Jeanne Triplehorn? So, you know the bird from Waterworld, Paul?
Yeah, which what? The female...
The female lead from
yeah.
Waterworld. I had her because I thought she's the right sort of age. She was in Basic Instinct as well. She's like 60 now.
What's her name now?
Jean Triplehorn.
Oh, right, yeah. I got her up now.
Do you want to hear mine?
Fucking hell yeah, I do.
So I've got, and I only came up with this about 5 hours ago, Jo Hartley.
Oh, yeah, fucking hell, good shout.
You may know her from This Is England and Dead Man's Shoe.
Yes.
Most of Shane Meadows as well.
Yeah.
Look at this picture of her. That's her in This Is England.
That's Deborah Strode, like, as she married John, I think. You know, you say that, so you married her. So, like, if we were casting it for, like, British people, I had Eddie Marzan as John Strode.
This is her when she married him, and then this is her a couple of years after.
Yeah, 2 weeks after.
2 days after.
My Deborah Strode, and I wrote this when I was drunk the other night.
Go on.
What was I doing? I can't remember, but I put Robin Williams as Mrs. Doubtfire, as Deborah Strode. Man, she looks in this film like it's more the costume. She looks like she's fucking like 90.
She does. She's only like 60 in real life, if that. She's like 59. She looks like she's a fucking ancient.
Yeah, I know. They've made her out to be like, she looks like Cara Strode's grandma.
Who came to my mind first for Deborah Strode, but the actress is dead in real life, and the person who I was thinking of is a fictional character, Deirdre Barlow from Coronation Street.
I thought that as well. I legitimately thought that. Yeah. Like the hair and the glasses, it's just like the most like, you know,
proper down
that era of like, yeah, just like, just deal with it.
I'm going to give you my Barry Sims, right? Because I was having a nightmare with Barry Sims because I had about 100 people that I could have thought that could have played that role, right? But as I was going on, I was thinking, I need to fucking rank these because some people I was thinking of were just annoying. Some people were just fucking dickheads. So for annoying, I had Vanilla Ice. I had my second guy, I had David Spade. And for my third guy, I don't think he's that annoying, but I think he could do the good role. I had Zach Braff could have done this role really well. I don't think he's actually annoying, though. I think he's pretty cool.
No, Zach, 100%. Yeah, that's cool. I get that. David Spade's a really good shot.
Do you want to hear mine?
Yes.
I was waiting for you to say this name, because to me, this is the most perfect casting. Logan Paul.
Oh, why didn't I put that in? Yeah, shit, he should have been.
Right, just imagine him, right? Because you don't see him for a bit. Unexpected, because his voice isn't that recognisable.
No.
And then when you see him, he's got the hat on and that, and he whips open his coat, and he's quite buff, isn't he? So he'd be like that, and he's a dick doing the interview. And then later on backstage, when he's like on the phone, because that's probably what he's like.
He'd be streaming his death if he thought it made him fucking money.
Yeah, like if you made it these days without doing it going to Resurrection, he'd stream the whole thing on his phone.
I gotta hand it to you, Paul. I gotta hand it to you. I think you've nailed that one.
Thank you. However, I wouldn't want to employ him.
James?
I don't know if you'll know him, Dan. Paul, you'll know him. David Hornsby. So he actually looks exactly like David Spade. It's Cricket from Sunny in Philly.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. He looks exactly like David Spade, now that you've mentioned it. But he's got, he can act like a fucking cunt as well.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor, actually.
Yeah, he's spot on. It's great.
So last recast, I didn't have anybody for this, so you guys have at it. Mrs. Blankenship, did you get anybody?
Paul, you go first.
Yeah, so I thought of this, and this is based on my last recast, so I'm cheating a bit. I'm stealing back my last recast, and I'm
Okay.
casting Anne Dowd.
That was one of mine. Yeah, I did think of that, but then I was like, would she play this role with
Yeah.
no words? She probably would, actually, yeah.
It's almost like the same as the Hereditary role. She's like, as we were talking about before, I was smiling a lot when we were talking about it because it's like
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, yep, Anne Dowd's perfect.
Yeah, that's a good shout, yeah. I went for last minute thing, I went for Sissy Spacek.
That's good. Did you ever watch Bloodline on Netflix
Yeah. Not all of it, though,
with
but
Ben Mendelsohn?
yeah. Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
She's his mum in that. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good idea.
I enjoyed that recast because it was literally like
Hold
a
on.
whole recast.
I've still got two more. Yeah.
Oh, did you do Beth and a fella?
I got three more actually.
Okay, go on.
Go on.
So
What we should do is listen to Paul's, and then me and you, Dan, should think of ones off the cuff.
yeah, go on then. So for the brother and his bird. So I only really did this recast because it was on there. So I got Cole Sprouse and Sophie Turner.
Yeah, Sophie Turner, but yeah, Cole Sprouse is from.
One of the those twins. Isn't
Oh yeah, I cast him last time, didn't I? As
No, you cast his brother,
who did I cast?
Dylan Sprouse.
Oh, Dylan Sprouse. What did I cast him as? I forgot now.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I
you
cast
Michael
got
him.
Michael,
No, no, fuck you. I cast Cole Sprouse, motherfucker.
Did you?
Yeah.
Maybe I meant Dylan then, because I didn't want to cast the same as you then. It doesn't fucking matter. They're identical twins.
yeah.
But who else did you recast? Good one though.
So I recast Danny.
Oh, nice.
Earlier on, I messaged about bringing in a new idea to this recasting. So because we've always had struggles with recasting children, because unless you've seen a film in the past year with a child actor, it's going to be hard to recast a child. So I'm going to introduce the time travel element to this. So you can use a time machine and go and pick any child actor from all of time, bring them forward in your time machine, and use them in that film. So who I got for this is
Who's
Kurt Russell.
The computer wore tennis shoes, Kurt Russell.
How much does Kurt Russell look just like the actor who played Danny in this film? It's unreal. They've got the exact same face.
I love it because Kurt Russell must have been about 45 when this film came out.
So, but like on my notes here, I haven't put an explanation for it. I've just put Kurt Russell.
Okay.
In 2024, I would cast Kurt Russell as Danny, the 7-year-old kid in Halloween. Yeah, it would be, yeah.
Yeah,
So I've gone back in time.
Yeah. Okay. We got the child time travel rule is now in place from now on. But yeah, good shout. I'd say if I was going to, I mean, come on, you got to choose Macaulay Culkin for this role.
Yeah, but Macaulay Culkin is very wordy. He's very animated. Imagine if you had Macaulay Culkin, like John Stroh throws the money across the table, and Macaulay Culkin's just like slapping his hands on his face, or like looking at the camera trying to break the fourth wall and all that, because he would.
You could go. Sees Michael Myers and turns at the screen and goes, "Ah!" and runs up and down the landing, and then runs down the stairs, and runs back up the
doing
stairs.
that with his arms. But
He creates a trap for Michael Myers who falls down it, and he looks at the camera and like wiggles his eyebrows straight down the fucking
I
ladder.
made Michael Myers disappear.
Michael Myers stepping on a nail,
yeah.
holding his foot, like screaming behind the mask.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Covered in chicken feathers.
Yeah.
Guys, that is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, over and done with. Thank God. Please give me your pros, cons, winners, losers, VIPs, MVPs, your overall thoughts, whatever you want to talk about. Give me a summary of this film, how you see it.
So I went into this film, this viewing, thinking that I was going to hate it, as I remembered. Probably more so than 5. The others I haven't really hated that much. And I now look upon it fondly. I would rate it a 7 out of 10. I think it suffered from a lot of editing issues, writing issues, reshooting issues. It suffered with the studios crossing over, too many dicks on the dance floor trying to take over different parts, and that it suffered a lot. But what they made from the shit, they actually created something memorable. There were a lot more decent parts in it than shit parts. So I appreciate this film way more than I ever have done, and I will look forward to watching it again next year as part of my Halloween film.
So for me, despite all the hurdles this film had to contend with, everything you've just said, Paul, we still got a fairly average film, which as a Halloween fan I appreciate a lot more than if I was a regular cinema goer. There's a lot I love about this film, and there's a lot I don't like about this film. I think between the two cuts, I think there is a solid, good film in there, and they tried. They saw Halloween 5, and instead of just sacking it off, they turned around and they thought, right, come on, we're going to make sense of this fucking bollocks. And they tried, and this was a solid best effort. It's not great, it's not even good, but I enjoyed it. So for me, this gets a 6.5 because of how good Michael was. So yeah, enjoyed it. James, give me yours. Give me your final thoughts.
Okay, so I gave this film a 7 out of 10 because I think watching it as a kid I was really entertained, and then when I watched it again the other night I was still like, fucking hell, this film's got so many good bits to it. I know the storyline can kind of not make sense here and there, but who cares? Michael Myers, I think, is probably the main reason why it's actually so high up on my list. It's my 3rd favourite Halloween film. Cara as well. She's cool, she's smart. I don't mind Tommy Doyle. I think it's not that bad. And I don't mind Danny the Kid as well, because I know kids can be so annoying in horror films, but it's kind of nice because he doesn't really say much. But again, I think up until the last quarter of the film, I think it's great. It's scary. I always think about it if I was going to play this film to somebody that had no idea about the series. Would they be scared by it? Would they be like, oh my god, what's going on? And I think they would with this.
One thing we haven't got into, we've fucking missed it. We've absolutely just fucking skipped over it. This is the final appearance in the series of the man who has been in every film but part 3, Donald Pleasence, sadly passed away after this film was made. So I guess I want to talk about Dr. Loomis. What do you think about him in this film? What do you think? What are your overall thoughts about the character, the actor? Just, what do you love about him? I'm not going to ask what you hate about him because there's nothing to hate about him.
So Dr. Loomis in this role he's way more scaled down than his previous 2 roles. And yeah, because in 5 he's completely insane. Donald Pleasence was going through some health issues, as I read and heard, and he passed away before the film's release, which is very sad. There was an interview that I heard with him where they asked why he came back to it, and he was like, "This is my role. It's like, this is my film."
Yeah, I think he kind of thought of the role as the role is Michael Myers and he's Dr. Loomis. He just has to be there.
I did like his more toned down version in this, which depicted his age and the fact that he's probably just fucking fed up of all this. My favourite aspect of him and my favourite parts of him, I love his speeches. Is over the top, biblical, fucking the blackest eyes, all that stuff. But my favourite thing to see about him is how often he pulls a gun. He's like got the same energy as Frank from It's Always Sunny, the way he just whips out a gun.
Yeah, man.
And it's just like I watched the best moments of Loomis video today just to get to refresh. And a lot of them are just him whipping out his fucking...
I think there's a bit in this film where they first get to Smith's Grove, him and Tommy Doyle, and Loomis just walks off and just pulls out this gun. And Tommy Doyle's like, "You don't think that's going to stop Michael?" He's like, "Nothing will stop Michael, but win." And what it reminded me of is Homer in The Simpsons, when the Flaming Moe's episode, where he just walks around going, "Moe. Whoa!" And I was just like, this guy, he's pulled a gun on, you fucker.
Oh yeah, he has.
Yeah, he was
on multiple police officers.
Many.
He just shoots through the window.
He holds the US Marshal at gunpoint and then fires his gun point blank in the car.
So what have we got? So we got marshals. We've got he pulled a gun on Jamie when she was. He pulled his gun on Ben Tramer but thinking it was Michael Myers, but not knowing. He pulled a gun on Was it when Ben Meek, when the 3 Michael Myers turn up in Halloween 4? And Mika's like, is that him? He's like, yes. And then like they just all start pulling their guns out. It's
probably not even American citizen. He probably doesn't have a license for a gun.
Just because he knows fucking Brackett's going to be like, why do you keep pulling it out? He's like, just so you know, I do have a permit.
So do you guys think this series would have been as quote-unquote successful without Donald Pleasence?
No.
Do you think he was integral to this franchise?
I don't know, because like, I think watching it as a kid, I didn't really know who Donald Pleasence was. So to me, when I was younger, it didn't really matter. But now I can appreciate it. But maybe for you guys, it was different. I don't know.
No, I was the same. I didn't know who he was. But I don't think you can have Halloween. The films are all of varying quality, but like they do suffer from not having him.
Yeah, and I would say like obviously we'll get into this, but like Malcolm McDowell did like a sick job, but it's a different character though. I feel.
James, what was your favourite Dr. Loomis moment then? Your favourite overall one moment that he does
from this film.
From any film that he's been in.
This is good, but do you know what I found really touching in this film, and it makes me hate Wynn even more. When he first goes round in this film, and he has a drink with him, and he's like, "Oh, 2 old friends and new beginnings," and it cuts to Loomis, and he's like, "Old friends," and he has a sip of his drink, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like he genuinely believes like Wynn's his mate, because obviously he's old and like he's not going to work anymore. That was quite sad, but. Favourite Loomis moment has got to be the beginning of Halloween 2, Michael's point of view in that alleyway.
Yeah.
When Loomis literally says, I've shot him 6 times. Like, he says it like 3 I've said it 6 times. But he keeps it. Maybe that, I think, because I don't know whether the filmmakers were just like, right, we got Donald Pleasence, he will just go wild and say whatever we want him to say. But I don't know, maybe, yeah.
I'd say my favourite, apart from the ones we've already mentioned, was gigantic steel net from the last film.
Yeah.
The bit where he like sets off the oxygen tanks in the fucking hospital and lights his lighter and causing tens of thousands of dollars of damage. But I would say it's hard to choose, but I'm going to say this one. So my favourite moment is the bit where in the first Halloween film, he's lurking outside the Myers house, and the kids are there trying to break in. So Loomis has to say to himself, I've got to get rid of these kids. So he goes, Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there. And the kids run away screaming, and Loomis is like laughing to himself. He's like, fucking kids. Like, he's like, and it's the one moment you see that he's got this genuine warmth, and like, it's the only time you ever see Loomis have any joy in his life. He's like, I've just wound these kids up on Halloween. It's fucking awesome, man. I'm sad that we're not going to get to see him again for the rest of the podcast. I mean, we will sort of at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, massive loss to the franchise. Yeah. You know, just like because he would have been there for H20.
Oh, fucking absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Give me some horror of 95.
Okay, so we've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. We've got The Ice Cream Man. We've got Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh. I don't know what number that is in this series. I've never seen it. Is it?
The first one is like 1992, maybe 91, 1990.
Yeah. Species.
Candyman 3 is Day of the Dead.
Oh no, so this must be Candyman 4 then. Farewell to the Flesh. But also, this is it. Think about this. The same year this came out, you've got Casper.
Oh, what a film!
Is that Bill Pullman in that?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. 7 came out the same year, so that obviously changed cinema. Like
responsible for resurrecting David Fincher's career. Fucking what a film. Thank God that film came out, because fucking imagine a world without David Fincher. It'd suck.
Wait, did that come out after Alien 3? Yeah, it did, didn't it?
2 years.
Imagine a world without David Fincher, yeah. Oh, what if we didn't have The Social Network?
Look, right, we wouldn't have Zodiac, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and all his other films.
You just named the two shittest films that nobody cares about. Zodiac, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I think of it more in a way you wouldn't have Denis Villeneuve. So there's loads of fucking weird films that came out this time. Cruel Jaws. What's this? Jaws. Oh, this is about a ferocious tiger shark suddenly grapples a Florida beach. I don't know.
Right, we have been on for literally 3 hours 59 minutes. I am fucking dreading editing this fucking shit together. It's gonna take me weeks. Okay, guys, I think we've pick the bones out of this one. Thank you so much for spending 4 hours talking to me about Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, because nobody else on the fucking planet would do this. So, thank you so much for your sacrifice. Thank you for your service.
It was my pleasure. Being my third favourite Halloween film.
Are you guys ready for next episode? Are you ready for 1998's Halloween H20, 20 years later?
Yeah, I'm big time ready. I like this film. I like that film. I know you don't like it, Paul. Brother, I don't know how you feel about it.
We'll talk about that next time. So, thank you so much for talking to me, guys. We'll see you next time. So, take care.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Dark Talk. If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider subscribing or leaving us a review. If you want to get in touch, please send an email to us at dark.talk.pod@gmail.com. That's dark.talk.pod@gmail.com.